Greetings and salutations, Dota fans. It is I, Badger, back for some more Legal Ads Plus Season 2 action. We are here for the winners bracket finals between whatever on the Radiant side and Pocket Watching, aka Empyrean, on the Dire side. It is funny. Logical did play Lads Plus Season 1 with Empyrean. He kept the name Empyrean, he kept the picture of Empyrean, he kept the team in Lads Plus, got rid of Empyrean. But I digress. It is going to be a fantastic series tonight, I am sure. Both teams are already in the money. Of course, winner of this BO3 will get a guaranteed berth in the finals. Guaranteed top 2 position. Again, further obtain currency. Looking at the teams, though, for those who do not know, on the whatever side, it is again a team full of players who just like playing lads mostly. We do have former Badger teammate Keshi, DKMP, longtime mid laner in the mid lane, Fletch Nugent, longtime sub player in the sub, Webby 1313 of multiple amateur league fames in the off lane, and then of course the big ticket player there is Artem, who is top 100 and then some, a very strong carry player, the headliner on this unit, of course. Meanwhile, on Pocket Watching, aka Empyrean, again, they're headlined by Logical. They've got Frisbee, they've got enough. They've got the silly snail, who is who's tagged up as, I think, Hot Dog Hater 9227. And then there's Hang, who's end planer, aka Steroid Abuser in this lobby, apparently. We do have a lot of bans and picks already. Banface, Chen, Omni, DK, Tiny, Mars, Timber, Lena, Venge, Dusa, Meepo. All removed from the Dota 2 game, but there's only so many ban slots, so Doombringer got through with that 8 pick selected by Logical. I know he buys a hero very highly. The response for whatever was Hoodwink, likely the Keshi hero. Uh, Going out of the second phase of bans, our 13 pick was Centaur Warrunner again. Good lane with Hoodwink, if that's going to be the name of the game, but again, it's a very strong offlaner in general. The response by Logical was Pudge and DP, so interesting draft from Logical. I think it is a very technically sound draft, but it's not necessarily what I expected him to pick. This could potentially be the Tricore with Carry Pudge off or mid DP offlane Doombringer. Though I would expect at least one of those heroes to be sup. Pudge, the most likely candidate of that. As it stands now, DKMP is using a lot of reserve time on the 16-17 pick block. He's down under a minute. Given they have 24, I was going to say, usually he likes to leave that last pick for Artem, which would make sense. He'll grab the Void Spirit for himself, which, again, for those who've been around lads for the last, 4 or 5 seasons now, a little less so nowadays. DKMP has broadened his hero pool, especially when DKMP got to the league. There was a certain reputation of this guy is the Spirits player. Ember, Storm, Void Spirit were his bread and butter. Very strong on all 3 of the heroes. Didn't play that much for anything else at the time. There was a meme of like the sort of SpongeBob countertop of like, can I get a Storm Spirit or an Ember Spirit? And it's like, oh, Squidward saying, oh, adventures today, are we, for TKMP? But he has broadened it. But to circle back, I'm happy to see him bringing it back to the classic Void Spirit Dota 2 here. Combined with the Void Spirit, of course, is that Undying, which means they will leave their 24 pick for their strongest player, being Artem. They'll give him that nice little view of the entire draft with 24 pick. However, it does mean that after Logical makes this 18 pick, you will have plenty of bands to play with. Sorry about that, some slight technical difficulties, but Logical will grab the Morphling, which It's funny. I was talking with Logical, I believe yesterday about this. Is it's not like he's even necessarily big of a Morphling enthusiast, but at some point he got this reputation in lad circles of, oh, when it's time to win, I pick Morphling sort of thing, and we see it in action right now. Money on the line. Logical will grab that 18 pick Morphling. This does mean that he will have the ability to ban out 2 carries that Artem might want. There's already a number of carry heroes banned out, and they're gonna get ban out 2 more. Again, Lena's banned, Meepo's banned, PA's banned, Dusa is banned. Wouldn't be surprised if a hero like Sven, like Troll Warlord gets banned. There are enough of the quote-unquote meta carries left that Artem can at least have one of the meta selections. Whether it's a hero like Sven, or maybe a Luna, or TB, or a Troll Warlord. A lot of, just standard meta sort of carries. I don't necessarily know what direction he's going to go yet, but DKMP, of course, will have plenty of time to think about this one. By plenty of time, I mean a rapidly dwindling amount of time, because he's basically used most of his reserve time already. Speaking of bans, DKMP bans out the OD and bans out the Windrunner. So again, just 2 pretty strong bans here. Likely focusing on... I'm not sure what they're focusing on at this point with these bans, but they're just strong heroes in general that Logical is inclined to pick. And Logical ends up banning out the Sven. That is one of the bans I mentioned. One of the better carries in the current patch. Some have argued even the best carry in the current patch. But Logical will end up grabbing that Winter Wyvern with 23 pick. Again, another pretty powerful selection. Again, Logical mostly sticking to meta. And the heroes he's grabbed aren't necessarily top of the meta. Again, fit with this strat very well. It's a very centralizing sort of tempo draft here from what I can tell from Logical, in that he'll look to have his team play a 4-man unit as he gets farm, hits his timing, and once he gets the timing, then he will join and contest the Roshans and contest the key towers and so on. Artem will have counterpick. I'm actually very curious to see what he'll end up doing in terms of this anti-morphling option. Obviously, most carries that have the ability to man-fight Morphling don't have the ability to stick with Morphling. And Artem grabs Animate Shoot. Again, if AM can get the farm, is one of the few carries who can both stick with Morphling mobility-wise and man-fight Morphling damage-wise. So I like the selection from Artem, saying, well, I guess from DKMP for Artem, with the mentality of Artem is the best player in this lobby, therefore he will have better farm than Logical. He will have a good lane. He's backed up by a very strong 5 player in Flesh Canoe and then Undying of all heroes. So they will find the ability for the AM to farm. For Empyrean, they do have plenty of tools to deal with the AM, but nothing that's that good outside of Doom. One problem is it's Doom. He has Counterspell. This could go very badly very fast. So what ends up happening in that one, we shall have to see. It's going to be a bit of a hard game for Empyrean. They're both not going to be immediately strong. They need some key levels on number of heroes, key items on Morphling, maybe an item or 2 on DP and Doombringer. But on top of that, they also are forced to do something. Because if they do nothing, then Radiant will farm very well. It's one of those sort of razor's edge drafts here. Question is, will Logical and company have what it takes to execute on that one? If I had to favor either team for game 1, I would go with whatever, but it's definitely one of those ones where we're looking more for outplays rather than outdraft here. I mean, both teams got what they wanted in a lot of senses, so it should end up working out. If you are just joining us, welcome to game number 1 of the Lads Plus Winners Bracket Finals. We do have whatever on the Radiant side. We do have Pocket Watching, aka Empyrean, on the Dire side. Again, we are seeing a smoke into the Radiant side jungle. It finds Artem, who warded early. just to ensure that there's some vision here. Now both teams have this high ground warded. I'm not sure if either team knows the other team has it warded. Question, Radiant definitely should know. They saw the Pudge ward. Now, again, Pudge looked to hit his own ward, but could not get the D ward off in time. Flash Canoe puts down Sentry, the ward goes down. Arctic Burn was used, but it will now be on cooldown for a little bit longer. He'll have it again for the rune fight, if there's a true rune fight occurring, but... And neither team's backing away. This will be a true rune fight brewing. Webby walks in, hoof stomps the Pudge. Pudge walks away for the time being. Hook hits Animage. He can skill Blink if he wants. He's holding it for now. He'll turn on Pudge. He'll skill Blink and then blink away. Pudge goes down to Undying. In comes Doom. Skilling Scorched Earth. Running at Flash Canoe. Blood Grenade has been used. Undying is dropping and out to 1-for-1. So Flash Canoe got the first blood. He lost his life. Looking at bounty runes though, it's already 3 bounty runes to the side of whatever, and it seems like Keshi's going to go for that 4th bounty rune. I don't think he'll get it. Pudge has Hook, use it on Hoodwink. But actually, wait a minute, he has a free path! As long as he can get there in time, he'll get there! He's walking, he's faster, Pudge everything on cooldown, he'll get the bounty rune! Sure, he'll certainly die, and at this point he'll probably want to die, but he did what he wanted to accomplish. He got the bounty rune, Hook will hit, Pudge secures that kill, so now it's 2 kills to 1. But not only did Radiant get the first blood, they got 4 bounty runes. A fantastic start to the game. Big lane to watch will probably end up being top lane. But I do want to talk about bottom lane a little bit. This is a very important lane here. Because they do whatever they can to stop this AM from getting creeps. Easier said than done, though, that's for sure. Mid lane, it's Void Spirit versus DP. Feels like a pretty even lane. Maybe it's slightly in favor of Void Spirit. Maybe it's slightly in favor of DP. I don't see this lane too much, to be honest. If we're being honest with ourselves, neither do you. Over to top lane, this is the lane to watch. It's Morphling Pudge versus Hoodwink Centaur. There's certainly the most potential for kills in this lane, though Flash Canoe is certainly trying to make some stuff happen bottom lane right now. One more hit will secure the kill on Wyvern. And now he'll skill the Tombstone. He'll use it to dive this tower. DK has been used. They're diving NPL. Flash Canoe is low. NPL is low. Double kill for Flash Canoe, and he gives experience to nobody. A fantastic outplay by Flash Canoe. And Artem, he's one happy Animage. Look at this guy. He's winning fights 1v2. What more can you want? Top lane, though, going for Logical, but Logical had the reaction. Morphed up Strength, just in case Radiant blew their load, and thanks to the Morph Strength, the full load was not blown. They'll save some tools in that arsenal for later. A little bit of action in both side lanes right now. Tombstone bottom is on cooldown. Top lane, Pudge, of course, will have Hook at any time if he wants to go for a bit of a play. Bottom again, Undying's just walking in, zoning away Doom and Wyvern. And then top lane, Pudge wraps around for the angle. Cannot find it quite yet. Back to bottom, Undying's running in again. Taking a lot of damage, but he can grab that min-free Lotus if he wants it. Over to top lane again. Speaking of Lotus fights, Pudge walks in. It'll be Pudge versus Hoodwink, if that'll be the name of the game, and it will end up going to Pudge. Simply getting the right click on there a little bit faster. Over to bottom lane, there's no Tombstone. Flash Canoe can Lotus if he wants to survive. Splinter Blast hits, Undying is still living. He's not dead yet. Doom is zoned away, though Undying is low. He can Tombstone and he'll use it to go in for the Doombringer. DK will hit. The Doombringer will end up dying. One more kill for Flash Canoe. AM blinks in. Artem wants to get involved in the fun. Wyvern has 7 stick charges and low mana, and will end up walking away. Flash Canoe will mango to use DK. No kill is secured. Meanwhile, back to mid lane, we have not looked much at that one at all. Probably for good reasons. Void Spirit is slightly ahead in CS. 21-3 versus DP's 18-1. So I predicted that top lane would be the interesting one. So far, I have been wrong. There have been 4 kills bottom. AM blink. Oh my, he ended up blinking away from the tower. Trying to drain a little bit of mana there. Artem saying, you know what, my lane's strong, I want to capitalize. Top lane. Bottom lane, DK kills Wyvern. Back to top lane though. Pudge and Morphling go in for the Centaur. Pudge has Hook still. Hoof Stomp will get used on both. Acorn Shot, Blood Grenade have been used to bring down the silly snail. They'll head to Logical again. He'll be fine. Over to bottom lane again. It's Doom in a very, very rough spot. And DK brings him down. Flesh Canoe has been involved in 6 kills. He has 6 kills at minute 4. This is some vintage Flesh Canoe stuff right here. That's a lot of kills. Again, look at every other hero in the game combined. There's 9 other heroes that are not called Flesh Canoe Undying. Those 9 heroes combined have 4 kills. He has 6. Not only is he ahead, he's ahead by 2 kills. He's out of control. Top lane, TP in by MPL. They want to make some kind of stuff happen here. Webby and Logical both are low. Hook has been used on Keshi. Keshi is half HP. Webby's running away. Webby survives for the time being. So Doom TP'd in, is trying to make something happen in the top lane. Make a rotation result in a kill. Instead, there's no kill. In bottom lane, enough is dropping. He'll go down. 1 more kill for Flesh Canoe. Make it 7 for the Undying. Oh me, oh my. You just don't see that very often. If you are a Flesh Canoe fan, you are eating real good tonight, because your support player of choice has been involved in a lot of kills. This is exactly it. For those who are Undying enthusiasts or blossoming and Undying enthusiasts, this is exactly what you want to do, is just do this. Just get 7 kills. Just have no fear, use your spells. If you die, you die, because they will probably lose the fights. You'll love to see it. Mid lane, bit of a 2v2 is brewing. Doom and Undying both are there. Undying has Tombstone on cooldown. Scorched Earth has been used. Flesh Canoe again is on the run. He's got Tangos in 1-1 charge. Keshi has now arrived as well. He's to the north and he's a little bit slow for the time being. Flesh Canoe still has Decay. He'll use it on 2. He's got 3-1 charges and Tombstone in 3. Dire will commit. Siphon has been used. Tombstone is being held, and he actually holds it! He could have used it, probably would have died during the cast animation afterwards. But he held it! Again, bold play from Flesh Canoe, it pays off. Artem cleans up the kill on Doombringer. Over the Wisdom Runes, Keshi grabs 1. The Radiant side Wisdom Rune, it's still here. There's nobody here. Not quite sure who's going to grab that one, but it's just there still. And this is one of those early candidates for best Undying game I've seen in a long time. This is a strong game from Flesh Canoe. So, it is a 2K net worth lead for whatever. And, again, if you are the side of Empyrean, there's at least some good news coming. You are getting key levels on some key heroes. Again, DP has level 7. EXO is ready to go if the name of the game is make some kind of play happen. You know, centralize around your key material and use that EXO, force these towers down, gain a bit of gold. But for now, Artem runs into NPL. Tombstone's on the high ground. Decay has been used. Artem blinks away. He's very low on HP, but does not die. Again, there's 4 dire heroes right over here. They're centralizing around that EXO. Tombstone will eventually go down. It's Flesh Canoe playing defense, literally 1v4. Top lane. I don't think Logical can die here. I could be wrong, but yeah, he's fine. Looks like it might end up being a little bit of a trade brewing correction. There's TPs on the way. Step in by DKMP. He eviscerates Frisbee. He has to NPL. NPL is low. 1 more hit will do the job. Hook hits Void Spirit. Wyvern ulti to follow. Bushwhack misses. Blink in by Artem. Down goes NPL. Down goes the Silly Snail. Double kill for Keshi. Mana Void brings down enough. And he's had enough of the action bottom lane. It's a 4-0, an absolute slaughter in favor of whatever. They're up by 4,000 gold at minute 9. And even Logical is not having a good game. He's 7th in net worth right now. Not what you expect from a player the caliber of Logical Dotes. And hypothetically, there could be a kill top lane, actually. Doom and Pudge are there, but the sidestep dodges Hook. Webby walks into the 3 heroes. He can hoof stomp if he wants to. He'll use it on 3. The Bushwhack, the Tombstone. He kills Logical. He kills the Silly Snail. He kills MPL. Just call it. This one's over. This one's actually over already. This is unbelievable. It's minute 10, a 5,000 net worth lead, double damage rune, correction, amplified damage rune goes the way of DKMP, but again, this is just... Look at the net worth! Look at the individual hero net worth. Number 1 net worth, Void Spirit. Number 2, Image. Number 3, Centaur. Number 5, Undying! There's 4 Radiant heroes in the top 5! It's ridiculous. I mean, poor Keshi, the one Radiant hero not in the top 5 right now, but he's playing well as well. Frisbee walks in. He needs his kill on Flesh Canoe. Stampede has been used by Webby. In comes DKMP. DD activated. Step in by the Void Spirit. He'll bring down DP, right-clicking him to the grave. 17 kills. For whatever. It's 17-3. And they're tipping each other. And the enemies. They're tipping both teams. They're just tipping people. And I didn't even see the kill. He just did the double damage rune still active. He stepped in on Void Spirit, demolished the Doom. A solo kill for DKMP. Now 18 kills. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, how do Dire win this game? They are down by 6k, but they have spells. They still have Exo. They have Wyvern ulti. And they need Doom, though. Doom is level 3. And as somebody who plays support here and there on the current patch, step in my DKMP, Tombstone has been used. Frisbee just walks away. But you can see in this game the importance of playing for the Wisdom Runes, especially when you're playing Force support. A lot of time, Force support ends up relatively low on levels, especially in a losing lane. Both Wisdom Runes went to the Radiant side. Doombringer just hit level 4 at nearly minute 12. And again, if you play support this patch, you've been there. It's not a fun time. Yeah, I believe there was a fight minute 7 during that Wisdom Rune spawning that ultimately distracted the side of Empyrean, meaning again that there was there's nobody to grab those Wisdom Runes, but at this point, Blink in top lane by Artem. He's running down MPL. MPL's got no mana. Bushwhack hits. At this point, I mean, Doom, he's tanked the gank, if nothing else. If there was no Doom here, perhaps the Morphling would be dead right now. Regardless, it's still a dead Doombringer. Meanwhile, mid lane, step in by DKMP. One more step forward, another kill for DKMP. Back to top lane. That T1 is brought down by Flesh Canoe on the Undying. It's 20 kills to 3. And this is in the winners bracket finals. Again, these are 2 of the top 3 teams. Keshi tries for a solo kill on Logical. He will not do so. But yeah, bottom lane, DKMP and Artem went in for enough to use the Wyvern ulti just to run away. Now, DKMP, he is fishing. Hook in by the Silly Snail, but dissimulate forward by DKMP. DKMP is out of spells. They need this kill. Stampede has been used. He's silent for the DP. He can wand. He'll use it. That's going to be a huge kill for Frisbee. That's a lot of gold being fed back. Is the lead still gargantuan? Yes, it is. But it's now moderately smaller. If you're Artem, you are not happy with supports last hitting your towers. We saw top lane, Flesh Canoe. And now mid lane, Keshi grabs the last hit of the tower. You know, hypothetically, Artem could have like something like 700 more gold right now between those 2 tower lasts and a couple of kills that were Kind of secured in his face. Speaking of towers falling, that bottom T1 goes the way of Frisbee and company. Back to top lane. Doombringer TPs away from Webby. Webby, I don't think, could find him in time. Could not get that hoof stomp off, and at long last, Doom will have level 6. He can cast his namesake. He has become the eponymous ultimates. Doom is ready to go. Which is good. That's what you want to see. Alright, Webby finds enough. He'll blink, he'll hoof stomp, veil, double edge have been used. Enough is trying to run around with that Arctic burn. Tombstones on the floor. TP away. Is there a cancel? Not in time. But he will cancel the TP of Pudge. So the primary target of the gank, the Wyvern, survives. Pudge will not. It's better than nothing, though not as good as the Wyvern kill. We are up by 17 kills and 6,000 net worth, and we are beginning to enter the state. DKMP gets caught. Atos into Doom. DKMP will get stampeded away, but he'll need teammates to back him up. Meanwhile, top lane, Logical and Artem are in a little bit of a tussle. Mid lane, DKMP survives. He'll pop that regen rune. Back to top lane. Artem's still hunting for Logical. Back to mid lane. Webby and Flesh Canoe run on in. They'll bring down MPL. Vitality is usable only on the Centaur. Step in again by DKMP. He's now full HP. He's got one more step. He'll use it forward. Assimilate is, well, going to end up missing, but the kill is still secured. Hook hits DKMP. He's dismembered under that tier 2 tower, but he's still quite healthy. He'll Remnant. It'll miss. Meanwhile, Flesh Canoe runs in for Frisbee. Flesh Canoe actually has everything on cooldown for the time being. And he'll walk away. So again, another team fight win goes the side of whatever. That is a 2 for 0. And surprise, surprise, again, the net worth lead grows. But as I was saying before that fight, the name of the game is going to be AM farming, of course. Usually in a lot of AM games, you're playing a little bit behind. Bot lane step in by DKMP. Bushwhack misses from Keshi. Step in again, and Sharpshooter finishes that kill. Back to top lane. They see Artem. He's silenced. He's Atos. He's hooked in. He's dismembered under that tower, and he's brought down. And I was mentioning, the important thing is going to be farming that AM, but you cannot do that when AM is dead. He is still #1 net worth. And he's really only close to his other core teammates. The enemy cores are nowhere near him, but... Wait a minute! It's a dead Morphling! He must have been caught on high agility. I didn't even notice that one before it happened. And at this point, Stampede is used by Webby. Wyvern ulti, Atos have both been used to lock down the Centaur. Centaur will fall. That's one more kill for Frisbee, and a kill he desperately needs again. I mean, if we're looking at this net worth situation, it is beginning to recover. DP is recovering. Mid lane, Tombstone's on the floor. Silence comes in from Frisbee, but he's out of mana. Mana Void is available. It will be used, and Artem will look to finish the kill. One more hit will do the job, but he's hooked away by the silly snail. NPL goes down. Meanwhile, at the dire tri-camp to Keshi and DKMP, but mid lane, they could not finish the kill on DP. Dismember on Undying. Undying is dead. Now it's a 1-for-1 across the map. And again, not a fantastic fight considering they have finally killed the loot pinata that was Flesh Canoe with that 6 kill streak. So, the game is stabilized. It's, at the very least, stabilized. Is it good? No. But the bleeding is stopped for the side of Empyrean. They were hemorrhaging, now they're just kind of, they're bandaging it up. Maybe they got a little tourniquet on there or something, I don't know. But things are getting better. Bottom lane, they'll go in for Keshi on Enough. Enough, of course, wants to kill him with that Arctic Burn Witchblade. He's very low on Hoodwink, though not dead yet. Now Keshi will look to juke NPL. I believe is smoked up there. He'll end up dooming the Invis Void Spirit instead. Is there enough detection, though, is the problem. He's stampeded away. Sentry on the floor. Atos catches him. That Sentry will end up saving the day, it appears. Or perhaps not, because the tomb is ended. He'll end up assimilating to the southwest. Tombstone will distract the Dire. Last Stick goes to Winter Wyvern. And a long-range hook from the Silly Snail will secure a kill on Undying. It took the effort of 4 heroes, but the job was accomplished. 1 more kill, now 8 kills on the board for the side of Empyrean. Whew. I think, never mind, we're not even done yet, because Bushwhack hits, the Sharpshooter hits, it's still not a kill, never mind. If Keshi ended up getting that kill, that would have been pretty epic, but again, the numbers were simply not high enough for the, the Hoodwink to secure that 1v1 solo kill, at least in that fashion. I think at long last, I've secured a little 10-second break from the action. It's minute 20, by the way. Non-stop action. We're at... Oh, speaking of action, Atos DP Silence have been used. DKMP wants the Haste Rune. He'll step into Frisbee. And we'll secure that Haste Rune. So again, nice little rune for that Void Spirit to secure. Is there more action coming? No, at long last, we shall farm. We did it. We've obtained a chance to breathe. Good Atos dodge by DKMP. Gets away from Frisbee. The kill certainly was unlikely in the first place, but with the dodge there, with the assimilate, the odds went from pretty low to literally well, not literally impossible, but effectively impossible. Over at the Dire side of Wisdom Rune, Artem grabs that one. Undying. Not Undying. Pudge has a hook, of course, but he lacks good vision. Dire have scanned. He knows he's in there somewhere. Hook will end up hitting! But the counterspell, in time, will end up saving the AM, and again, I'm pretty sure in that situation, you would need to, like, Shift Q Dismember on the AM, but the problem is you can't Shift Q Dismember when you have no vision, and at the time, there was no vision. The scan was the only thing that was giving a definitive proof of him being somewhere, and I believe this kind of circle here, so again, counterspell comes out, AM survives, and again, Artem is simply farming, which, again, it is the least shocking thing of the game, given it's minute 21 and AM is farming. He is at Manta and Battle Fury, double Wraith Band on top. Radiant look to smoke. They're smoked up only on 2. They were not able to smoke up DKMP. Webby blinks in, finds DP. Wyvern is fantastic, but it's not fantastic enough. In comes Stampede. Pudge will get cold embraced. Looks like both Wyvern and Pudge will die. The question... Oh, he had a DP inside him! He had a DP inside. That is not where DP wants to be. That'll end up being 3 kills for whatever. The net worth lead extends to 13k. What's up with our good friend the net worth graph? Yeah, it's about what we expected. From that, the win probability has remained around that like low 90% area for more than 10 minutes. To fight in the Radiant Jungle, by the way, they found MPL, stepped in by DKMP, Sharpshooter hits. That'll be a dead doom. But, yeah, it's been in this stable sort of green line, like 90 to sort of 95% for a very long time now. But now that, again, this net worth lead is beginning to further balloon, the odds are going slightly up. Got some items on the screen if you want to see what items everyone has. Nothing too really out of the ordinary, it appears. Again, we do see Logical going for, I don't know if I would call it the New Age Morphling item build, but we have been seeing Morphlings replace that Falcon Blade, which they used to buy with the Vladimir's offering. Which I don't mind. I like Vlad's. I think Vlad's is pretty cool. But yeah, we are going to see through the Twin Gate go Empyrean. They'll head to that bottom side of the map, looking to secure Roshan at day. Exo has been used by Frisbee. It doesn't appear that Radiant know. Again, Artem thinks they're ganking him. He scanned over here. But instead of ganking the anti-mage, they're ganking Roshan. Roshan's currently half HP. I believe there will be no contesting. At this point, the contest will be too late pretty soon. So, yeah, we do see Keshi, DKMP, and Flash Canoe, the gang squad, grouped up to make Dota 2 happen, but they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Morphling now has 2 lives to play with for the next 5 minutes, grabbing that Edis of the Immortal. Step in, Remnant, step in by DKMP, and MPL gets blasted by Keshi and DKMP. Apparently, Webby got an assist credit on that somehow. Well, I'm not quite sure what he did there, to be honest. There are multiple Tier 2 towers under attack. Empyrean will glyph to protect both of them temporarily, but... Again, I think both of these towers end up dying here pretty soon. Neither will die quite yet, but... I don't really think that whatever need to be that afraid of 2 lives on Logical. I mean, He's a full 5,000 gold behind the AM. He's behind the Blitzbeard. He's behind the Centaur. I'm not quite sure how exact of an idea Radiant have about that, but they have to know to some extent that, hey, we're still winning this game pretty hard right now. I don't quite know what was hooked, but I do know hook was missed. I heard the hook sound effect from somewhere. Top tier 2 goes down. Last hit goes to Artem on the AM. He'll now head to the top lane tower area. And he'll now blink away. He's still a little bit wary of being doomed, which... fair. Maybe he should be a little bit concerned about that one. We see a little bit of an interesting item build from AM. It's the sort of build you see on a lot of carries, though AM is usually not one of them, where it is both the Sanj and the Yasha. He never actually ended up making an S and Y, as far as I can tell, but yeah, he never made the full S and Y, but he's going this Sanj just for a little bit of status resistance, you know, mimic that Doom a little bit shorter, whatever silence a little bit shorter, just try to prevent this crowd control from ruining his day. And you see a lot of, ooh, they've doomed Keshi, bottom lane. He's certainly going to die in the Hoodwink. You see a number of carries by, like, Manta and Heaven's Halberd, but I do not expect Artem to go for a Halberd on Anti-Mage. Smoke up on 2, it's AM and Undying, headed bottom. Morphling has left to the north for now. Looking at Radiant Vision, they see DP, and now they see Morphling. Morphling will get gone on. Oh, he's already lost 1 life! He gets utterly and completely blasted by Webby! He might just die again. He's now morphing strength. AM gets silenced. Doom is also silenced. Everyone's silenced, it appears. DKMP and Logical are fighting. DKMP gets away. And yeah, again, at this point, neither team is too willing to commit to anything. Keshi is respawning. It will be a 5v5 once the Hoodwink arrives to the fight. Dire are pinging AM. AM is Manta in 3. Hook misses. In comes a 2-man hoof stomp. Wyvern the target. He'll Winter's Curse on 2, but he'll end up losing his life. Sharpshooter misses. Dismember will be there on AM, but he blinks in further, looking for more. He's joined by DKMP. They want Frisbee. Frisbee gets mana voided down. He is brought asunder to the grave. That's 3 kills for the side of whatever. They want to get Logical. I don't think that kill will materialize. Regardless, that is a 3-for-1 and Undying for 2 cores and a Pudge. And they still want Logical. Looking at Radiant Vision, they know he's somewhere in the area, but with that waveform away, it appears as though Mr. Logical will be fine. Good old, doggy, less than symbol Al. Ay, ay, ay. Regardless, 17k net worth lead for whatever. Logical and company are not in a great spot right now. They no longer have 2 lives on the Morphling. Next Roshan's gonna be a little bit of time. At least 3 minutes. Probably longer. Possibly up to 6 minutes. We shall see. Bottom lane, the fight is brewing once again. Pudge plays in the front, and he will get punished for that play. Step in by DKMP. The kill goes to Artem. It looks like whatever wants more. There certainly is some real estate to be gained in this area of the map. The tri-camp can be seized. The tower can be taken. AM blinks in. Counterspell prevents a Doom from being the counter play. Again, AM wants more. Looking at Radiant Vision, he now sees Wyvern. He knows there's heroes over here, but doesn't know where they are exactly. And whatever will return to the bottom lane. Again, there is a dire side Tormentor. There is a tier 2 tower. Plenty of things to be grabbed. It seems like that will be the play for whatever. Grab that tier 2, kill the tower, head over here, grab a free shard. Both Radiant supports already have it though, so maybe they're not too inclined to force it. There are some shards to be obtained. It will be between the Void Spirit shard and the Centaur shard. Apparently they're not going to risk taking the fight here though, right outside this dire side base, knowing that hey, if we fight this and we get not even necessarily wiped, but if we lose some key kills, it could be, you know, north of 1k gold per kill, thanks to the comeback mechanics. Webby hunts for logical. Sharpshooter will barely end up missing. It's broken anyways, thanks to okay, interesting. I'm not quite sure how any of that works, but somehow Logical escapes certain death at the hands of Centaur, Hoodwink, and Anti-Mage. It is a miraculous escape there for the Morphling. And that does mean we are back to farming. Oh, we love the farm around here. So, Scotty was on the courier earlier for Artem's Anti-Mage. The courier was brought down by Logical. It now respawned, and apparently it's been so long that he bought a full Orchid. So he's got Scotty, and now he's got Orchid. That's 2 more items than last time he was fighting, so yeah, Anti-Mage is pretty strong. As it currently stands, we are in the Roshan respawn window. Smoke up on 4 from Empyrean. They're playing the Roshan pit area. It will be alive quite soon, but instead they'll play towards their tri-camp. Meanwhile, top lane, Keshi solo kills MPL. Back to the tri-camp, the more important fight is brewing. Blink in by AM, goes right into Logical. Doom buys back. Meanwhile, DP is going on Centaur and a dying in the backlines. Back to AM. He's been doomed. Stepped in by DKB, he's trying to save Artem, but Artem will die. That's a ton of gold for the Doombringer. It is a trade. It's a dieback on Doom. But now with AM dead, they look to clean things up. Enough dies on the north side. Back to the south side. They're focusing Flesh Canoe. Flesh Canoe dead. Currently a 2 for 2. Keshi bushwhacks the Pudge. Step in by DKMP. The Remnant to follow. 1 more kill. It's a 3 for 2. They had the DP. Her XO is active, but can she survive? BKB has been used. Morphling is low. Pudge buys back. Everybody's dying on this dire side. Logical TP has been cancelled by DKMP. Frisbee's trying desperately to save Logical, but 1 more pushback from Keshi will finish the job. Remnant hits, it finds DP, Hook away comes in, but DKMP's hunting. He smells the blood, he tastes the blood, he sees his targets. He'll have a step in 1. Blink in by Levy, the Shiva's guard will slow. Step in by DKMP, the Remnant to follow. It's chaos again, Pudge will be the next one to fall if he ends up dying under his tier 4 towers, and that will be the case. Wyvern at long last has respawned. But he's got no ulti for 5 more seconds. He'll run at Webby. Webby is not as tanky as I thought he would be. He's lost about half of his HP to the Wyvern. But Arctic Burn has ended. Doom respawns. He'll Infernal Blade the Centaur. Frisbee buys back. Step in by DKMB. Silence on the Wyvern. Wyvern's dropping and Wyvern falls. He'll buy back instantly. Frisbee is low though. He's trying to siphon. Radiant hit him. AM is returned. And Frisbee diebacks. That's one more dieback. NPL gets brought down by AM once again. Manaboy finished that one, and now Wyvern, who used his buyback, is being hunted. Step in by DKMP. Wyvern to fall. It's logical versus the world, and I expect the world will win. All 3 lanes are under attack. It could be Megas. It could be game. And it will be game. Empyrean, they see the writing on the wall. They accept their game 1 loss and say, you know what? It's the best of 3 for a reason. Let's see if we can bring it back to a 1-1 next game. Regardless, what an absolute trouncing from whatever. From the onset of the game, everything went well. There were only some very minor hiccups throughout the game. It was entirely one-sided. The laning phase, the post-laning phase fights, the mid-game fights. If there even was an endgame to this game, the endgame fights, they all went the way of whatever. And perhaps some of those fights could have went differently if the net worth differential was different. But it was not. It was all the money on whatever, basically. So on that note, I'm going to cut us to a quick break between games 2 and 1. My name's Badger, and we'll be back with the Lads Plus Winners Bracket Finals between Dodgical and DKMP soon.
Remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 team ban. Radiant team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Dire team pick. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Clockwork!
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds. Dire team pick.
Mars!
Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to the winners bracket finals of Lads Plus Season 2 between whatever on the Radiant side and Empyrean on the Dire side, aka podcast watching. My name's Badger, again. Hopefully we'll be in for a more competitive game, too. And we did see quite the fireworks, but that was a very one-sided game. Again, DKMP and company just took Logical and his buddies to the woodshed and slap, slap, slap. They got brought down real fast. It was over in something like 35 minutes, and honestly, it felt over by minute 10. Hopefully, game 2 ends up being a little more even. Got a lot of picks. Got a lot of bands. Bands Chen, Omni, Timbersaw, Centaur, Windrunner, Doombringer, Lena Undying, DK Meepo. Goodbye, farewell, I will not miss any of your heroes. Speaking of heroes, we do have, though, again, whatever they first phase pick the Hoodwink. Almost certainly that Keshi hero once again at the 8 pick. This time around, Empyrean will respond with Tiny, likely the 4 supports for M Planner, but we shall see about that one. Other picks again, we have a 13 pick Clockwork, Response 14-15 Phoenix Mars, a classic combination there.
10 seconds.
16 pick Magnus, again, both teams looking towards meta selection so far. Nothing too out of the ordinary yet. And Logical is contemplating with that 17 pick. On what to do there. He's used nearly all of his reserve time. Hopefully, whatever he grabs is worth the reserve time because he'll have very little of it left for that 24 pick. 5 seconds remaining.
Radiant team pick.
Ember Spirit.
Okay, mid-ember for Frisbee. I don't mind it. That's a good pick. You have the classic Mag Ember combo as well.
10 seconds remaining.
Again, Mag Tiny also pair together pretty well as well, so
5 seconds remaining.
in terms of the Empower, you've got some decent synergy, but I look at the overall sort of team fight apparatus, and I like what whatever are brewing up right now. Got some strong team fight. They've got some strong lockdown. And I think with this 18 and 23 picks, they can definitely put something really devious together here.
Team ban.
That is devious, but not the kind of deviousness I expected. So we have Huskar. Again, especially earlier on in the game, it seemed like Empyrean could struggle to deal with this
5 seconds remaining.
this Huskar. Again, eventually, once you really itemize on a hero like Tiny, get some items on Magnus, get some items on Ember, then you can start cooking here and dealing with Huskar.
Dire team ban.
But early on in this game, it's going to be quite the struggle to deal with it. I'm not sure whatever we'll do to complete this draft here, but you've got a lot of chaos on the field here. Mars Arena, Phoenix Egg, Huskar being Huskar.
Remaining.
Certainly not fun to deal with. I'm unsure if Empyrean will be able to play the team fight game. I'm inclined to say no. Their team fight seems far, far weaker. Which does mean, again, maybe Logical grabs a more split-oriented hero at 24. He dodges fights. He lets his heroes acquire the items.
Radiant team.
And then to the point that maybe you start getting these BKBs. You start getting some real damage. Then you can perhaps deal with this sort of whatever situation here. And when you've got Mars and Huskar playing in the Vanguard, a hero like Phoenix and Hoodwink playing in the rear guard, it's hard to take those team fights.
5
hypothetically, you start getting these blink daggers on heroes like Mag, heroes like Tiny. You go around that vanguard, past the main body, into the rear guard. Then you're talking, okay, catch Phoenix before Supernova, catch Hoodwink before the bevy of spells comes out. Then we're talking Dota 2 right there. But earlier on in the game, Mars Huskar, no double entendre intended, but will be quite the bulwark in this one.
5 seconds remaining.
And then, of course, eventually you start getting, like BKB Aghanims on Ember. Then you can start playing the maneuverability game, but if the early game goes any way similarly to the way the early game went game number 1, I think whatever have a real strong draft here. Last phase of bans has come out. It's a carry affair. Void, Lifestealer, Phantom Assassin, AM all banned out. Ricky the selection for whatever. Traditionally speaking, you would go Ricky, carry, Huskar mid. But knowing these players, I think it's going to end up being a Ricky mid, Huskar carry. The response is Sniper! So it's Frisbee Sniper mid. Logical playing the safe lane Ember. It is that DKMP Ricky mid Huskar carry. This is fascinating. I don't think Tyre are gonna win this one. This is yeah, if you could just somehow acquire currency, purchase items, then you can fight. I just don't know if Empyrean will have enough time to cultivate currency to purchase the key provisions to survive this Radiant attack. It is a deadly, deadly attack here. Oh me, oh my. So yeah, I do predict that whatever will end up taking game number 2, they'll make it a 2-0, but I like the Logical's mixing things up. He grabs that Clockwork. I believe it's a comfort pick for the Silly Snail. Grabs Safe Lane Ember, grabs a mid lane Sniper. If nothing else, it's different. And in a situation like this, different is perfectly good. Alright, if you are just joining us, you're in a great spot. Because it's game number 2 of the Winners Bracket Finals for Lads Plus Season 2. Neither team is at risk of elimination in this series, though whatever are one game away from sending Empyrean into the lower brackets. My name's Badger. And again, as I mentioned earlier, hopefully we get a more competitive game 2 than game 1. Game 1 was exciting, sure, but I would not call it a competitive affair. For those who were not there, it was a 6k lead at minute 10 in favor of whatever. They won the 2 side lanes, and I guess they kind of did a somewhat draw mid lane, but the side lanes went so incredibly badly. And then DKMP had good rotations that eventually DKMP was simply more farmed than Frisbee. And long story short, it was an absolute slapdown. We did see a pre-horn fight. Game number 1. We will not see that game number 2. Logical and company, they play this top area of the map over here. You'll see 2 bounty runes both sides. The southern river rune will get grabbed by Webby, the northern one by the Silly Snail. And yeah. No action whatsoever. Which is probably a good thing for my voice. So it is going to be Magnus farming off lane, accompanied by Tiny, playing into Huskar and Phoenix. Right now, Tiny's got no attack speed, which is certainly not ideal. He's trying so badly to actually use his right click. He's got a tree. He can finally hit Flesh Canoe. But yeah, Tiny with that low attack speed is not a fun time. So again, the key ability will of course be those spirits. Top lane, we got action there as well. It's Mars farming, joined by Hoodwink. Playing into Ember farming, joined by Clockwork. In the mid lane, it's Ricky. Yes, that's right, Ricky versus Sniper. See, the funny part is, it's times like these where you look at the mid lane matchup and you can't tell if it's like the semi-pro game with money on the line with these like super good players, or if it's like an actual legitimate 1K pub. And I assure you, it is the former, not the latter. Thanks to Rex Rampage for the sub, by the way. Appreciate that one, buddy. Always good to have that one. Back over to top lane, it's Keshi on the run. There's action in both side lanes right now. Battery Assault. Doesn't quite secure the kill, but it did result in a 1 trade. Webby's got no regen. Keshi's got somewhat low regen. What's in that courier for Webby? Okay, so it is the Bracer. Bushwhack hits the silly snail. He'll end up running away. Over to the bottom lane. Oscar Dotes. I'd say you love to see it, but I'm not a very good liar, so I guess you don't really love to see it. NPL's forced to TP away, by the way, all the way to the fountain. Phoenix simply used his blood grenade and all his spells, which, well, it's not very fun for a hero like Tiny. So, it's funny. I mentioned game number 1, the DKMP classic. It's, like the Void Spirit, Ember Spirit, Storm Spirit shtick. Not the case game 2. It's middle lane Ricky, which is, I mean, in some ways, on a macro sense, functions similarly to a hero like Storm or a hero like Void Spirit. But in terms of actual mechanical micro function, these are extraordinarily different heroes. It is Lotus fighting time. Where did the Lotuses go? 1 to Hoodwink, 1 to Enough's Magnus, so 1 for 1 in terms of the Lotuses. Nothing too crazy there. Yeah, Flash Canoe was a menace in the laning phase game 1 on Undying. He's a menace again game 2. Somebody's about to die top lane. The question is not if, but who more. Acorn Shot is dodged by Logical. First blood goes to, I think he Cyphus dodged the Acorn Shot projectile there. So great play by Logical, resulting in Clockwork getting first blood. That's some real logical Dota play right there. And instead of dying for first blood, his teammate gets first blood and he survives. One key problem. He's got no HP. He just backpacked his branches for like a 2 stick. That's how desperate he is for HP right now. He'll get a tango. Webby thought about going in. Perhaps, I think there might have been miscoordination. I think there was a possible kill there top lane. I think Keshi thought Webby would either rebuke or spear. Webby thought that Keshi would bushwhack. Ultimately, neither gets used, therefore Logical lives. He's still regenning up. Wait a minute. Top laner's a fight. Logical's low. He'll use that Sleight of Fist. He'll end up dodging the spirits by walking away. I want you to turn your attention to the bottom lane. Look at the last hit deny chart in the top left of your screen. Huskar has 16 denies! I don't care Logical said. Look at the denies! He has 16 denies! Magnus has 10 last hits! Any laning phase where you have more denies and your opponent has last hits, it's not like the first wave of the game, it's not looking good. Top lane, they're gonna go in for the Clockwork. Clockwork's being right-click down, spear hits from Webby. But look at the denies! 16! I mean, there's a lot of them on Frisbee as well. He has 11 denies, but at least Ricky still has 20 last hits. It's certainly a win for Sniper in the mid lane, but for as hard as Sniper is winning the mid lane, Magnus is losing the bottom lane even harder. Top lane, Phoenix is here. That's a big courier kill. That's Raindrop, Tango, Blood Grenade, Sentry Ward, all on that courier. They'll go for Webby under that tower. Bottom lane, Huskar's on the run as well. Back to top lane, Webby will end up dying with battery assault. The trade is for logical. Back to bottom lane, Artem is juking. Back to top lane, Keshi is low. He's salving up. It's canceled by Clockwork. Clockwork has more move speed. Fleshkin could not get the angle for the block. He's still running forward. Keshi has no spells. Battery assault finishes the job. One more kill. He'll head the Flesh Canoe. He wants another kill. He'll stick on the Phoenix. Phoenix is dropping. He's got a Fairy Fire. Spear away. Keeps him alive. And now mid lane. DKMP's about to die. Solo kill from Frisbee. Well under the tier 1 tower. He was under the tier 2 tower. So Sniper's out of control. Huskar's out of control. Mars is kind of out of control as well. It's one of those games where it's 3 very one-sided lanes. Again, both side lanes going the way of the side of whatever. Mid lane so far has been pretty one-sided in favor of Frisbee, but oh boy, this could be an interesting one. It's Wisdom Rune time. Flesh Canoe barely grabs the Radiant side one before the Avalanche comes out. On the top side, Skewer forward by enough. Saves the day. If Keshi knew what we knew with the Omnivision, he would have bushwhacked. Back to top lane, MPL goes down. But again, enough getting the Wisdom Rune is so huge. I missed the kill on Phoenix. Clockwork simply ran him down. Over to bottom lane. Frisbee is here. Seems like it's Dota 2 time in the bottom lane. Frisbee looks to perhaps annoy the Huskar, get him out of his bottom lane area, get him a little further into the jungle. Oh boy, a sub. A gifted sub. Thanks again, Mr. Rex Rampage, with another gifted sub. You love to see it. Giving one to friend of the channel, Madior, and fellow labman at that. Either way, though, we do have, where were we? Dota 2 top lane. It is the Silly Snail show right now. He's level 5. But he actually might be one of the stronger heroes in the map right now. Just looking to battery assault and run down somebody. NPL's on the way. Radiance now know what's up. Keshi's under attack. Blood Grenade. Oh, actually, end up tossing in the Clockwork. Cogs were used. Wait. Yeah, it will end up being a dead Hoodwink. I'm not quite sure how the interaction worked on that one. The Cog, I think, instantly died somehow. Well, regardless, Keshi is dead. That's the 6th kill now for Empyrean. DKMP TP's in top lane. Sentry Ward now scouts out DKMP's intentions. He'll blink in for the Ember. Ember runs away. Arena's on the floor. Logical's still silent. Spear gets sidestepped. Flesh Canoe is low. Logical's low. Flesh Canoe is dead. And Logical survives. Barely. And now Dire will run at Webby. Tiny will toss in the Clockwork. Webby will attempt to deny to Roshan. He'll rebuke away the Clockwork. Spear will not kill him. Roshan is acting on somebody else, resulting in a kill for Frisbee with the Assassinates. So that's 2 more kills for Empyrean. They're not quite up by a full 1,000 gold, but they are in the lead state right now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And Empyrean will strike while the iron is hot. They'll smoke up as 3. Clockwork, Tiny, and Sniper. Clockwork runs into Hoodwink, popping his smoke. He's got limited mana, but he'll go in anyway. So Hookshot using everything he's got just to go in for Ricky. Actually, his mana might have been fine. I was looking at the wrong hero. DKMP dies to the Sniper Assassinate, who was the hero who was low on mana. Skewer on Flesh Canoe. Flesh Canoe has Dive on cooldown. And he'll end up being dead as well. That's 2 more kills for Empyrean. Again, this is exactly what they need, a strong recovery, because when both side lanes were not going all that well, you had to turn the tide on one of these side lanes. They turned the tide top lane.
Dire's top tower is under
It does mean that Huskar is incredibly free farm. He's in the Roshan pit even. Dire scan. They know what's up. So Roshan's half HP. Rocket Flare's gonna hit! Oh, that could have been a huge kill, but it does mean that in come the TPs. Mag is on the way. Ricky defends the pit. Mag is incredibly low. Frisbee looks to fight. Is there detection? Skewer on DKMP. The tricks of the trade. Roshan goes down. The kill went the logical of all heroes. Edis goes to Artem. DKMP gets a kill and goes down. Now Flesh Canoe's half HP. Huskar is looking to run in for the Ember. Ember has 2 remnants. Back over to Flesh Canoe. He's looking for Frisbee. Frisbee has 2 Fairy Fires and a Dream. He'll bring down Phoenix. Sharpshooter hits. Blood Grenade has been used. Bushwhack hits. Sniper's still alive. They want to finish the kill on Frisbee. Frisbee gets 1 more kill. Triple kill for the Sniper. And now Artem with 2 lives. Looks to fight. He's fighting a 1v4. He's tossed up. He'll wand up. He'll turn on Tiny. Sniper's still fighting. Clockwork goes down to that Huskar damage. Webby has returned. This time bottom lane. He's got Arena. Return of Huskar is here. But Webby has missed the Arena. He was looking for anybody, primarily Frisbee. But he was short on the cast range. Frisbee simply walks away. Whew. So it's 13 kills to 7. It's a lead for Empyrean. And again, securing that last hit on Roshan. Notice, again, it was Dire who got the Roshan kill. I believe it was Ember who remnanted into the pits, blew everything he had to do some damage, trying to kill either Huskar or Roshan. Did not kill Huskar. Did kill Roshan, however, giving a good bit of gold there to the side of Empyrean. Ultimately, the main loot, being that second live for Huskar, was still secured for Artem, but that gold he would have liked. Bottom lane, life break in by Artem. It's Sniper and Huskar fighting to the death. Both of them will end up dying. The experience goes to Huskar, though enough gets solo experience on the death of Huskar. So, again, the 2 strongest heroes in the map are now off the map. Mid lane, DKMP's being gone on, but he's not being gone on enough, apparently, because he's fine. The dust has ended. Keshi has spells. He's holding them. He's holding them. He's still holding them. He's still backing up DKMP. I'm not even sure if he was in range to cast spells, but he was holding them. Mid lane, Bushwhack was used. Acorn shot the falls. Perhaps a little bit of miscoordination there on that one from Radiant. The kill was not secured. Actually, is that the first Bushwhack that Keshi has missed all game? It might be. Maybe he missed 1 more, but he's hit a lot of them this game, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. That was an odd Bushwhack to miss there. It's one of those simply no tree situations. Didn't get that acorn shot off in time.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
All eyes on Webby. He's running in top lane, looking to farm that Blink Dagger. And that is going to be the key item for Radiant to team fight with. Whatever, of course, need Blink Arena. Artem will twin gates top lane. Silly Snail is playing the literal twin gate right now. He can hookshot if he wants to. Logical has a remnant up somewhere. Where is it? Huskar's playing it. The remnant will expire. So now Logical will slight, he'll chains. He still has 3 remnants. Arena's been used. He'll force out 1 remnant from Logical. Logical remnants to the west. He's running away. In comes DKMP. So they're committing everything to bring down the Ember. And they will do so. The kill is secured by DKMP. So that's going to end up being a free little chunk of gold. And again, even if Ember did react there and sniffed out that gank, there was a remnant here, and Huskar's playing right here, so he was ready to just ruin the life of Logical, and Ultimately, the Remnant activation did not come out, not that it would have changed the outcome. And it does me a nice little kill there to get on that Ember. Badger Pablo 23. Thanks. Another gift sub from Mr. Rex Rampage. Thanks again. Another gift. We love gift subs. We do love. I'm just gonna put another. Let's put a little. There we go. Put a little baptism. There we go. Put that in the Twitch chat. We do love gift subs. We're the bottom lane. It's Clockwork being gone on. Ricky, hoodwinking Mars, looking for the kill on the silly snail. He has a hook shot in too, if he wants to somehow get the creeps, perhaps. One key problem. He's silenced, and now he's dead. That's another kill for Webby1313, who's up to 2. Count them 2 kills. Seems like we're gonna be farming for a little bit. There's some key items we're looking at that we... Top lane, 1v1 fight between Logical and Artem. Logical will lose that fight easily. Though, again, if there was a missed armlet toggle from Artem, it could have been a kill. Over to bot lane, Arena Spear have been used on Mag. Mag did not get the RP off in time. Now Levy will use the Bulwark active. His life should be lost. MPL secures that kill. In comes Supernova from Flesh Canoe. Frisbee's trying to fight. He'll bring down Keshi, but it'll cost him his life. And now it's the silly snail, who is about to be run down as well. He used Hookshot to stun too, but it will not prevent the inevitable. It simply delays it. That's 4 kills for the side of whatever. A double kill for Flesh Canoe, the hero of game 1. He's now getting up to 4 kills game number 2. So, it was looking good. Keyword was looking good. For the side of Empyrean. Mid lane, Tiny. Okay, that's a key blink in. So I believe that's a fresh blink from Tiny. That was a key item we were looking at for Tiny to buy. He's got it now, which does mean that a number of these cores, particularly Ricky, are very susceptible to Tiny simply going on them. Again, you look at the remainder of these dire side heroes, and how else do you plan on securing these kills? I mean, you could just blink RP, but that's got a cooldown. Blink Avalanche, meanwhile, that's got a much lower cooldown.
Radiant are scanning.
And again, speaking of Mag and Tiny, they are still smoked up as 2. They're in the Radiant side jungle. Their smoke has a little bit of duration remaining. Seems like there will not be a kill, however. Radiant's ping Tiny. Tiny runs away. Top lane, through the Twin Gate, go multiple heroes. Logical Remnants away. Clockwork looks to go in. Shockwave Skewer. RP's being held. It's now been used. Huskar will look to toggle for his life. It will be required to survive. But he's too stunned to use the armlet toggling. Now Webby, inside his arena, will die very soon. His arena has ended, his life is low, and his life is forfeit. And now Dire focused down Supernova. Logical does die to Flesh Canoe's damage, but it's still a resounding win for Empyrean. A 3-for-1 where, most importantly, they bring down the big bad Huskar. The net worth lead is literally gone. It went from about 2k Radiant lead to literally no lead. It's a Dire lead now.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And you know what? That is what I asked for. I asked for a more competitive game number 2. And guess what? We've got a more competitive game number 2. Okay, top T1, you're going to die. You are dead.
Radiant's top tower.
Meanwhile, Keshi is going for a bit of a cheeky play, looking for a soul kill on enough. He nearly gets it, but now the damage is gone. He's out of spells. He's trying to right-click. Sniper ulti will finish the job, and that will be a kill for Frisbee. His 10th kill of the game. He's got half the kills of his team. Well, almost. If you round up, he's got half the kills, because, you know, he's got, he would need 10 half kills to do that. He only has 10. Regardless, it is a good game for Frisbee. He is number 2 in net worth, only behind Huskar. Mind you, not only is it a very free lane for Huskar, but this is Artem, who is like rank 65 or something. I don't exactly know Frisbee's rank, but I know it's not top 100. Let's put it that way. I think I know he's good, but he's not top 100. Maybe he is. No, there's no way he is. But he's a very good player. But to keep up with Artem farm wise is always a very hard challenge. And one Frisbee is up to logical. Well, remnant away. Okay. I mean, he used that one remnant, I believe, for a little bit of creep hitting. I don't know if he actually got any creeps with the remnant, but he did do it. Roshan is alive. Dire have not seen it yet. Hookshot does not stun DKMP. Ricky will trick the trade to dodge the avalanche. He'll blink in for logical. What an ankles-breaking play from DKMP. He'll lose his life, but that was beautiful from DKMP. He simply could have, died. But instead of simply dying, he brought down logical with him. So it is it's basically an equivalent trade there. Oh, Kashi gets gone on by enough. He looked to twin gate through. Speaking of through the twin gates, Frisbee was bottom lane, but ultimately he TP'd away. Both sides are camping twin gate right now. Dire have 3, Radiant have 3, Roshan is alive. Rocket Flare scouts in through the twin gate comes a who shot the shovel on the Dire? Okay, that's a great gold ball from MPL. And now the heroes will go through the twin gate. It's not a cold ball this time around. It's actually heroes. Webby looks to run in. He'll arena on logical, but he'll miss the spear. Avalanche toss comes in from NPL. Meanwhile, Huskar jumps in for logical. Logical is incredibly low. Skewer on Keshi, but logical goes down to the sharpshooter. And now Huskar, it's armlet toggle time. Can he pull them off? No, he cannot. Enough will drop, but it's already a 2 for 2. And importantly, Frisbee's still fine. Problem is DKMP will ensure he's no longer fine. Hook him by clockwork is late. Frisbee to fall. It's a 3 for 2. Webby is low, but so is the silly snail. The silly snail goes down. Webby's still alive. NPL could not finish the job. That's a full 5-man wipe. And DKMP came in clutch, doing a metric ton of damage. Nay, 2 metric tons of... Wait, correction. It was not DKMP who did the damage. It was Flesh Canoe. 5,000 damage in that fight. It wasn't some very important damage from DKMP to finish Frisbee, but it was Flesh Canoe, again, much like Game 1, doing the heavy lifting. Again, it's a really strong series from Flesh... The narrative changed mid-sentence, by the way, but Flesh Canoe, again, is kind of a very strong series. He had that pop-off Undying game. Again, on Phoenix, he's playing very well right now. Looks like... With Roshan alive, though, we're not done with all our fun times of bottom lane. Huskar is here. Are there going to be rocket flares casted? There are. It will scout Roshan. Roshan has been scouted. Looking at Dire. Do they have smokes? They do have a smoke on clockwork. They'll smoke up on 3. RP is on cooldown. Arena is up. It could be... Wait, where's Arena? It's not here! Webby's not here! So Roshan goes down. Aegis goes the way of Artem. He'll lose it immediately, it appears. Phoenix gets skewered by enough. Down goes Phoenix. Down goes Ricky. Huskar is back, but it might be too late. You're fighting like 2.5v5 right now. Artem will try to do what he can inside the cogs. He's now outside the cogs. Will go in for Margarita came through, splitting up the fight, but Huskar's already dead again. That's 2 deaths. Sniper will end up dying, but it's a disastrous fight for whatever. Webby simply was not here at the onset. Keshi will end up going down. Webby, who was late to the fight, will end up being early to leave the fights. Good old last in, first out. Our favorite accounting system, of course, for inventory, but it's going to be the name for Webby. Last in, first out in that fight. And ultimately, a very important fight for the side of Empyrean to win. Sure, you did not keep Frisbee alive, who is that #1 net worth hero who, despite being the mid laner, will function as the carry this game. But you get that 4 for 1. And again, when you look at Huskar as a Dota hero, one key thing you're always looking at is these sort of Roshan timings. To secure the Aegis, to have that secondary life, because with the secondary life, he's a lot more inclined to make these very bold plays. To get the key kills, secure towers, secure tormentors. But again, both Aegises haven't really done anything. And usually that second Aegis is where a lot of teams want to sort of play Dota 2. Usually that's where you might look to perhaps threaten key objectives. And that's not going to happen because, well, it's already lost. It's simply already lost. Whatever are running into problems with sustaining in these fights, especially sustaining in fights where Empyrean choose the venue. Bottom lane, Huskar goes in for Mag, Mag gets away, but again, both teams have won key team fights in this game. It just seems to be what the rules of engagement are to define who ends up winning these fights. When whatever get the sort of fight that they want, where it's spread out and Ricky can not get gone on and die immediately and so on, it looks a little bit better. But when Empyrean can play this sort of like set piece fight with a good tiny jump and a good mag jump, things go a lot better for them. DKMP will Manta. Hooked in by the silly snail, DKMP blinks away, avalanche toss, will hit, Ricky's dropping though he's not dead yet, BKB from Mag, he'll skewer forward, in come the cavalry though, Huskar is not TPing quite yet, Flesh Canoe will glimmer and walk away, he's slight changed by Logical. And it looks like neither Huskar nor Hoodwink will join the fight, Keshi will simply back up Artem. Over to top lane, Flesh Canoe tried for a bit of a cheeky ward. He got the ward off, but it cost him his life, and that could potentially mean a lot of damage top lane to the structure of this Radiant defense. There's a top tier 2 tower under attack. It could be parlayed into this outpost over here. Webby will defend, looking to cancel the TP of Logical. Logical did get bottom lane. Life Break is not going to get used in time, though. So now Artem is stranded. It's only Keshi backing him up. He'll Life Break the Tiny, but he's just dead. He is simply dead. Keshi TP's away, but this game too. Empyrean are getting what they want. They're making key progress on items. They're killing the Huskar. They've blunted his forward momentum. And what is now in the hands of what something I was mentioning during the draft is it's going to be on Empyrean to sort of stop this balling out of control situation that whatever we're going to look to do. And congratulations to Logical and company, you've done this. You stopped the forward momentum. They are no longer balling out of control. They're not even balling in control. They're just kind of stationary right now. They're gathering moss. And it means that it's going to be whatever who have the burden of execution on them because Huskar is falling off, and you're suddenly going to need to say, all right, how do we take this game and make it better? The big thing we're going to be looking at is this man right here. All eyes on Webby, Mr. Tupac Shakur fan apparently, and he is going to need to make some key initiations. When you look at the sort of team fight, he will have to play in the Vanguard. The main body has to be Huskar. Huskar cannot play in the Vanguard any longer. He is no longer tanky enough. Because again, you're gonna have sort of a situation where it's ideally Mars in front initiating, Huskar not far behind, this rear guard of Hoodwink and Phoenix waiting for opportunity, and then Ricky sort of playing this flanker role of just of say jumping this dire side backline instead. It's not going to be easy to do, though, when Empyrean are simply initiating on their terms and just killing any hero they want. So we have to look at Levy to find a fight on his terms and on his team's terms, or else this game is going to slowly slip out of control of the hands of whatever. I mean, it's already slipped out of their hands, but it has not hit the ground yet. It's just they need to somehow catch the slippery object that has fallen out of their hands before it hits the ground. I'm not quite sure how they'll do it, but these are mid lane. We're seeing a jump by Logical going in for Keshi. Keshi is dead. Back to bottom lane. The tower's still alive, by the way, but again, the defense is lacking. Ricky and Mars both are not here. They are simply elsewhere. They will sack this bottom tower. Mid lane. We're seeing a lot of pings right now towards the Logical. Logical's being gone on, kind of. Or maybe he's not being gone on. He's just dodging things. I'd say he's Neo from the Matrix, but that wasn't all that hard to dodge, so I guess he's more like, I don't know, just some amateur Neo cosplayer. Regardless, Webby was taking the waves. Top lane. He He ends up leaving. So there's a lot of pressure top lane on this sort of area here, but this tower's fine. Logical's here. He's got a remnant somewhere. Where is his remnant? I can't... Oh, there it is, there it is. So he can return mid lane if he needs to be there. Harpoon, skewer on Flesh. He tried to dive away. That did not work. Good attempts. He did all he could to survive, but survival was simply not possible under those circumstances. This does mean that Frisbee and his team will head to this little tower right over here on your screen. The mid T2 tower on the Radiant side is going to die. I'll draw my box. I'll draw my X. It has simply died. There's a siege unit headed this direction. Webby again plays in the fronts. Enough. We'll look to hunts if we can find a key target. Again, Harpoon, Skewer. It's pretty powerful. A number of commentators who have joined me on these casts have complained about Harpoon into Skewer. And I would agree that it's kind of a... You know, you expect Nag to sort of be the sort of high-skill hero. Harpoon Skewer lowers the skill floor by a lot, but sometimes it's don't hate the player, hate the game. T3 tower goes down as 2 towers taken mid lane with the sieging from Frisbee and his friends. Roshan, by the way, cannot be alive. Dire scan it anyway, so somebody's clearly not timing out Roshan in their team chat. Harpoon, Skewer, finds the Huskar. Huskar's inside his allied arena. He'll look to run away. He's fighting Clockwork. Clockwork to fall. It's the Stilly Snail dead, and now it's time for perhaps whatever to look for more. They're running. Logical goes in for a kill on Phoenix. He'll Supernova. Sniper will hit Supernova. Supernova will certainly die. Logical BKBs. It's a 1-for-1 so far. Harpoon, another Skewer! Hurricane Pike back. Huskar to fall. A massive kill for Empyrean. Bushwhack hits the Magnus. Tiny is inside of Yule's right now. Sharpshooter hits Keshi, taking half of his HP. Blink, slight chains and Logical. Keshi is low, and Logical will die for that play. A bold play to try to finish a kill on a measly support Hoodwink. Ends up that's its former lads teammates, Logical and Keshi, in that fight. Logical loses that one. DKMP is skewered by enough. Webby will Biki RP. It's on 2. Ricky falls. Webby is now half HP. He's trying to fight, but you cannot fight this. You're simply going to die. One more kill for the Magnus. A double kill for enough. You've used, at this point, a lot of deaths. You've lost 4 heroes. You've used 1 buyback. What have you gotten in return? An underfarmed carry Ember. And your buildings are still dying. Radiant Glyph. However, backdoor is down for a little bit longer. This time enough will miss the initiation, where the T3 is still dead. This will likely be at least, correction, it's guaranteed 1 set of racks. It could be 2 set of racks. This mid lane is exposed. Bot racks fall. Frisbee will actually not immediately go mid lane. Keshi goes for a bit of a sneaky kill on Frisbee, almost gets it. Instead, he's caught by MPL. Keshi is still low. Now he's dead. The Huskar goes in for Clockwork. Clockwork is taunted in by the Huskar Ags. Flesh Canoe is dead. Now Huskar inside the cogs. He's trapped. And all he can do is die. That's a full 5-man wipe. Sure. From the grave, there is at least a kill on the Stilly Snail, but Dire have heroes. Radiant do not. Some base is about to die. It certainly will be this melee racks. It should be the full sets. Sniper is keenly aware that he could potentially die here if Ricky and Mars find the right initiation. But with Ricky revealing his location, he then hits the range racks and finishes those. Webby is hunting. He wants an angle. He wants to blink Arena. It's hard, though, without your Huskar and Phoenix. Those are key heroes for the fight. So Keshi live to 3v4. Huskar buys back. Here we go. Arena hits 2. It zones away the Tiny. Bushwhack hits enough. Enough will end up dropping. Logical is taunted. Huskar is fighting. Sniper is fighting. It's man fight v man fight. Huskar survives. Now Sniper, tail between his legs, is on the run. He's used up by Webby. Spear misses entirely. But BKB cannot save Frisbee. A triple kill for DKMP on the Ricky. And whatever. Get a little bit of a bone thrown their way. Is the game good? No. But is it winnable? The answer is yes. And hello, Hello, Roshan. It's time for you to die again, buddy. For the third time this game, Roshan is about to get absolutely ass blasted. And that's what happens when you play into Huskar, who is one of the best Roshan takers in the game. I mean, I don't know if he's the best, but he's certainly up there. I mean, we're talking, Huskar, Meepo, Ursa, of course. Templar, Assassin, and OD are up there as far as middle lane sort of heroes go. Mid lane, speaking of, Keshi goes down. Brought down by Clockwork and Tiny. Radiant, of course, will look to do something. Looking to perhaps avenge their Hoodwink, but vengeance is not going to arrive. It's a simple drive-by, kill Hoodwink, run away. That's a nice little play there from Empyrean. Logical, look to hunt Webby. Webby speared him away. And here we go. There's an Aghanim Scepter on the floor. Flesh Canoe will grab it. It's a really nice Axe to get on Phoenix. Again, last fight, there was only 8 HP on the Supernova. This fight, there will be 13. That's 5 more HP. That is a massive HP bonus. That's what, like 62% more HP on his ulti this time compared to last fight. We saw it last fight. It was over here. It got hit pretty fast. It died pretty fast. But if it had 5 more HP, it probably still would have died, but it would have been a lot closer.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, here we go again. Yule's on Clockwork, but it's a skewer. The counterplay to find Webby. Webby will BKB. Frisbee BKBs. Clockwork to fall. Webby walks forward. He's got Arena. Frisbee TPs. And it will not be canceled because he was still BKB, I do believe. Couldn't really see if he was yellow, or much say more glowing gold. There were some units on top of him. I'm assuming he could, he timed that right, though. So it's 1 kill on Clockwork. Whatever, of course, they do not want to sit back. They want to go for more. Enough has BKB ready to go, TP in, but he blinks right into Ricky and Webby. He'll BKB on Mag. He's taunted in and brought down. A hiccup there during that team fight. Not the time to hiccup. Regardless, 2 dead. Logical is still playing bottom lane. But DKMP's here. They'll kill Keshi. But at what cost? They silence Logical. Logical will end up remnanting away. NPL will likely not be so lucky. Hoodwink buys back. I'm not quite sure it was necessary. And now NPL's fine. Oh, that's... So I thought for a second there they were going to punish Ember and Tiny for their transgressions. I mean, look at where they were. All the way over here. Radiant had, I think, all 5 alive at the time. He just goes into this base, slaps Keshi. He buys back into the game. Say, no, you can't, this is illegal. You cannot, this is an illegal action, walking in the base, effectively 2v5. But he get it anyways. Speaking of, the silly snail is about to die, it appears. He'll end up force staffing himself away, and okay, with that fresh jetpack shard, he ends up getting away. So as he was being gone on, Empyrean were at the dire side Tormentor. They grab it, giving the shard to help aid the aid the retreat of the silly snail. That's a very conspicuous timing there on that one. I don't quite know if that directly saved his life, but it certainly made it a lot easier to escape. Probably the Force Staff was the key one we're looking at. Dire now smoke up S3. Enough. Frisbee and MPL are smoked. Now Clockwork is also smoked. Looking at Dire Vision, will jump in for Webby. The RP to follow, and he'll end up dying instantly. Huskar is now inside the cogs. Not where he wants to be. Flesh Canoe's dead. Sharpshooter hits NPL, but again, the cores are being kited around right now. They'll go in for Tiny. Tiny certainly will die, but at what cost? DKMP's already dead, and Huskar will attempt TP away. It will end up working. But again, that's a 3-for-1, possibly turning into a 4-for-1. They're hunting Keshi. Keshi will actually play pretty well trying to get an escape here, but there's no way out of this death. There's just too much damage, too much catch, too much everything. And now, not enough HP on Hoodwink. That's a dieback on Keshi. That's a 4-for-1. Webby, 13-13 buys back. And There could be a buyback from DKMP. If they can wait out Phoenix's respawn, they'll have 4. But look at Artem. He's ninja geared up, looking for the angle, saying, you know what? All eyes are on me instead. I want the angle. I want to go on some kind of backline hero here. He's looking at perhaps Frisbee. Spear hits logical. In comes Artem. He goes for the sniper, but Magnus skewers him away. DKMP buys back, hunting Frisbee, who's BKB'd up the cogs. Keep Artem on the inside. Now he's just stuck. Frisbee, though, will still end up dying to DKMP, so the Koskar couldn't finish the job, but DKMP has 2 blink strikes ready to go, and now it's logical on the run. He's got very low mana, but he's got mangoes. The mangoes might save him. He'll mango up, he'll remnant away the mangoes! The mangoes have saved his life for now. Problem is DKMP still hunting. Artem's still hunting. And the arena spear will hit logical. Oh, if he survives there, that would have been all on the mangoes, but alas, the mangoes were wasted for nothing. That's 2 key cores down. Ember and Sniper have fallen. But there's 2 key problems. A, they both have buyback. B, look where the waves are. Wave here. There was a wave here, died to T4 towers, and wave here. So, despite killing the 2 biggest cores in the game on the dire side, you still can't do anything because you have no waves. Equilibrium is bad. It's really bad, actually. You can't do anything. You're just stuck here. I'm not gonna say doing nothing because you get some gold out of that from the team fight win. You get some creeps, but you want more. Like if you win a fight like that and you get nothing but a bit of map control, sure. You're feeling pretty good, but now you're still running into this situation where Keshi gets caught bottom lane. He'll Glype Near onto you, he'll sharpshooter for distance. I like that play from Keshi. Enough will Ogre Steel totem in. There's no way. There's no way he gets away with that! So the tree there's like a little spot from the hide. Mid lane, DKMP goes in for Tiny. Tiny is a Wind Waker. He'll Wind Waker the Ricky offensively. He's still a Stormcast for... Dude, there's like a little tiny spot here in these trees. If that was an intentional play from enough to find that little spot where he knew he can get away, that is like one of the most unbelievable little tree hides I've seen in a long time. If it was coincidental, then whatever, it works out. It ends up keeping him alive. But if that was an intentional play to find that little spot where he just couldn't see him, then that is just brilliant. Roshan cannot be alive, but we are close to the window of the... What is this? The 4th Roshan now. It's going to be time for Roshan to die again. Empyrean know what time it is. It could be Roshan time real soon. Blink in by clockwork. Cogs back. Hook shot misses. So the silly snail, who's been on fire all game, misses initiation this time on Webby. Webby gets to hold his BKB and gets to hold his arena. While Clock has spells on cooldown for a little bit, those cooldowns are pretty low. Blink in, missed from Webby. He's Hexed. He's Harpoon. He's skewered into Logical. He'll BKB Arena. He gets RP'd on 1. In comes his team. But where's his team? They're not even going in. They accept the death on Webby and they're running away. Keshi is running. Artem is running. Fleshq is running. They'll all end up getting away, it appears. Keshi is still in this, bottom lane area, but importantly, if we look at buyback status, Webby does not have it. It's on cooldown. So there have been some anti-Webby comments in the chat, mostly from Mattior, but it seems like Mattior is correct about Webby right now because Webby is in a rough spot, and because he's in a rough spot, his team is suddenly in a rough spot. And they blast Fleshq. Everybody blinks in. And everybody kills him. Radiant gets Tormentor. It's a shard for DKMP, but this will be Megas, barring a miracle. Artem goes in looking for Sniper. Fleshq buys back. Sniper ends up dying. That's the big carry in the grave. Keshi is skewered away, but he's still fine. Clockwork is low. Tiny's nullified. DKMP might go down here, and actually he's low on HP. Meanwhile, we see Supernova on the floor. It will end up stunning absolutely nobody as enough gets brought down by Artem and Keshi on the northwest of the fight. So it was not good for whatever, but it was not a complete disaster. They used only 2 buybacks? Correction, 1 buyback. The Ricky buyback was used earlier in the game. They lose a little bit of damage on their structures, but it is not megas. And now again, Artem is going to look to capitalize. He'll look for anything. He'll find nothing other than some creeps. Again, Roshan, that's a very late Roshan respawn. Roshan's not alive. Keshi will Gleipnir. He'll sharpshooter. He'll hit the silly snail. Clockwork hooks to his teammate Tiny. Keshi 4 stabs in. Ember and Tiny will turn. They'll hit Keshi, but he's still a 3rd HP. Just a little bit too tanky for now. Only one problem. You have no friends. They're not here. They've during that fight, Artem went through the twin gate away from the bottom lane. He has got Roshan on his mind. Again, he knows Roshan should be alive soon. But that time is so late. It's at the very end of the window. Keshi buys back in through the twin gate. Well, only logical, apparently. He went through the twin gate, remnanted back bottom. Meanwhile, Keshi TP's in bottom. He'll Gleipnir Clockwork. Keshi might die back here. He's trying to run. The avalanche, the toss, the right clicks. He'll sharpshooter, but there's no way out barring a Houdini-style miracle. And that miracle will not arrive. That is a die back on Hoodwink. So Keshi is dead for 105 more seconds. DKMP is alive in 12. Well, look at Dire. They're pinging Artem. Artem will go in ninja gear away. Apparently, the attack range of Sniper is so long that it won't even break the ninja gear smoke. And now Artem turns back in. He's turning back in. He's going for a hero play. Meanwhile, in the base comes Tiny, Ember, and Clockwork. Artem looks for an angle. He sees Frisbee. They want to kill Sniper. Sniper gets dropped immediately. In comes Phoenix, dropping the spirits. Big Gibby from Artem. It's a fantastic fight. Webby will arena. He'll miss it on everybody but enough blinks outside of the arena. So it's split up time. They know they've lost Frisbee. Now Logical gets caught dewarding. He'll BKB. He'll remnant southeast, but it's right into Artem's life break. Artem and DKMP bring down Logical. The gem is on the ground. The gem is on the floor. And meanwhile, Webby runs in looking for the silly snail. Spear. I think that hits. Clockwork goes invis. He'll hook shot away. Webby will not finish that kill. But again, you lose the Ember. You lose the Sniper. It's shades of earlier where again, Radiant won the team fight where they killed Sniper, they killed the Ember. In this time, they'll get something. They'll get Roshan at the very least. It's the 4th Roshan of the game. It's Aegis. It's Cheese. It's an Aghanim Scepter. Who gets the Ags? Probably Keshi. Unless Artem wants to sell his Ags and consume the Roshan Ags, it will be an Ags for Keshi. I don't think Webby's Ags is that good. I've literally only ever seen Double King buy this item, and he was playing like a meme build Carry Mars, so I don't think it'll go to him. And where is the Ags? Where is the Ags? Where is the Ags? Where is the Ags? Is it on Ricky? It's, okay, so it's on Ricky. It's being held by Ricky for now. He'll probably send it the way of Hoodwink at some point, if I had to guess. But again, this game has been made interesting. It's still a powerful game state for the side of Empyrean, but I want to open up the graph. Look at the graph. Line went down, and now line's gone back up. I mean, this is it's like a heart rate monitor at this point. It's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down. It's just it's not stopping right now. It's non-stop action over here, and in what was a pretty significant lead. I mean, look at the win probability. 98%. That's now down to 74. 74 is still pretty good, but 74 is not that good compared to 98. You go from, you know, a 1 in 50 to a 1 in 4. Now, 1 in 50 is pretty unlikely. A 1 in 4 is 2 coin flips. So, regardless, Dire did get the Tormentor as a shard for enough, giving him that upgraded Shockwave. Surely it's not bad. In comes Dire, looking for Huskar, who's got 2 lives, so BKB. He'll TP away, but it's canceled by the RB! He's entirely alone, he's got no friends! Can he get away? No! Avalanche! Toss! He'll armlet again! He'll life break forwards! But Artem is dead with no buyback! He bought out for the overwhelming blink, and he's now been overwhelmed by the huge stun lockdown from Empyrean. And they see DKMB! He's X'd! He's shockwaved! He's assassinated! In comes the chains! In comes the death! And he too has no buyback. They lack the gold. Key thing that plays into the hands of whatever. Empyrean do not know that Ricky and Huskar have no buyback. It's not a lack of cooldown, it's a lack of money. And especially in these high-level games, a lot of the time you respect the ability for your opponents to actually have their buyback. But at this game state, you're certainly going to look to force them, because when you force those buybacks, you get that win condition. You're saying, all right, let's force it on in there, let's force out these buybacks. Little do they know, there are no buybacks, so it probably won't be game, but it will be megas. Now if they can get some more kills, it could just be game here. They'll bring down Keshi, he's got no buyback, and that's a cooldown issue. So they'll go in for Phoenix, who's skewered on back. Aeon Disc is activated, he'll dive away, but again, I think he's just dead. He's gonna be forced Supernova if he wants to survive. Arena's on the floor, Supernova has been used. Windmaker away from MPL, Logical focuses the building, so does Enough. The silly snail goes down, but Megas are secured. And now the Arena Supernova combo has ended. Webby is tossed up and brought down. He'll buy back on Mars. It's currently a 2v4. It's Phoenix and Mars. Yule's on Magnus. Spear knocks him away, but in comes Slight Chains from Logical. In comes the Tiny. Webby will BKB and he's still dead. Hex, RP, the damage is huge. That's a full 5-man wipe, and that's a GG call. And we are headed to a game number 3. Whew. They're making me work today. They're making me work today. That is what I know for certain. They're making me work. Regardless, I'm cutting to a break. And when I come back, it'll be the winner take all game number 3 between whatever and Empyrean.
seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Dire team pick. Radiant team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Clockwork.
Dire team pick.
Man stands ready.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Greetings and salutations, Dota fans. It is I, Badger, back for the winner take all game number 3 of the winners bracket finals in Lads Plus Season 2. Whatever. They looked at game 1 and said, oh, it's whatever. They crushed it in utterly and completely dominant fashion. An incredibly one-sided route in their favor. But in game number 2, Empyrean, they won a nail-biter. They played a very competitive game, and ultimately they were able to maneuver well enough in the late game to take us. Which brings us here. We have reached it. The winner-take-all game number 3, where both teams go with a win, and the winner will, at the very least, secure their top 2 placements. Which, again, for Lads Plus means more money, even. They'll secure at least a top 2 prize pool placing. And they'll be in a great position to potentially of course, win the tournament as a whole. Again, banned, surprise, surprise. A lot of good heroes get banned. Lina, Doombringer, Undying, Meepo, Timbersaw, Chen, Dragon Knight, Omni Knight, Magnus, Mars. First pick is Tiny. Response is Hoodwink. So both 4 supports get a very comfortable place to go to. The Tiny for MPL, the Hoodwink for Keshi. This is going to be his 3rd Hoodwink game in a row. Speaking of comfort again, we have the Centaur for Webby, which went a lot better than the Mars did game 2, so I'm sure Webby is grateful to be back on the Centaur again after last game. And again, we're going to see a repeat clockwork performance for the Silly Snail. I thought he had a fantastic early game, and I'm sure he'll look to repeat that performance game 3. On top of the Clockwork Radiant grab, one of the few unbanned knights, the Rogue Knight, Sven. Again, one of the better carry heroes in the patch. Big man, big sword, becomes red, does a lot of damage. That's your synopsis right there on that hero for those who don't know Dota. The response there is that Vengeful Spirit plus Death Prophet. So again, DP in the game. But this time for the other side, Frisbee played at game 1. And he was the lone bright spot temporarily for Empyrean, but that didn't last. I believe Venge was banned out the first 2 games, because if not, then I'm surprised that Venge was not picked yet. And the response there is Zeus, which, again, I know DKMP does know his Zeus, so he'll know how to play against it in lane, but Frisbee's also a pretty good Zeus player, so that means both sides know their way around this Zeus pick. Just for fun, I am looking up whether or not Venge was banned the first 2 games. It was confirmed banned game number 1. And then it was also confirmed as not banned game number 2. So game 1, when both teams were not adjusted yet, they banned out the meta. Of course, that means Venge. Game 2, it just kind of slipped through. I'm not sure if they just didn't notice Venge wasn't banned. Game 3, Venge is here. So, yeah. Venge good. 3 very different style of heroes, by the way, for Flash Canoe in the series. Like, you look at Undying, you look at Phoenix, you look at Venge. All very dramatically different heroes. Even the way you play the laning phase. Just 3 very different heroes. And again, I thought Flash Canoe played well game 2. He was fantastic game 1, but this time it's a much more quiet early game hero. You can extremely easily pop off on Undying early game. You can certainly pop off still on Phoenix with the right cooldowns. It's hard to pop off on Venge early game. Your hero is not the strongest. But he will have an advantage of range in that lane playing Venge Tiny, assuming it is a Venge Tiny in the top lane. Should end up being Venge Tiny at least. Whether or not it will happen, we shall see. One thing we'll have to see is whether or not we see a pre-horn fight. If it was a pre-horn fight game 1, it went the way of whatever helped give them momentum towards their early game lead. In game 2, Empyrean understandably dodged as hard as possible at that pre-game fight. Okay, so last phase bans, Brewmaster, Slardar, Animage Gyro. With the penultimate 23 pick, Empyrean grab Enigma, which goes into the ultimate pick for whatever, the last pick of the series, the Artem carry pick. He had 24 game 1. I think he had 20... He had 18 game 2. And now he'll have 24 again game 3. So, again, DKMP is setting up his carry player with the premier pick slots in the draft. And there's a minute of reserve time left to deal with the Enigma. So, we're looking at what is likely an Enigma tiny lane in the top lane, the Radiant side offlane. It could be different. It could be flexed around. I mean, the tiny could be a core. The Enigma could be mid even potentially. Though that's probably not gonna happen unless there was like Rudy in the lobby. It's probably gonna happen. Regardless, Artem is not going to play into a fun lane. This is not going to be a good time.
You may now
And he'll grab Dusa. So that is the when I'm looking at that specifically, the Dusa pick, I like that into Sven. Medusa is one of the better carries in the game into Sven. Maybe top two into Sven. Like that hero is really well into Sven. Historically, I think the first time Medusa was really kind of rediscovered, something like 5-6 years ago, was when Sven was at the top of the meta and he was running just ramshot around, just destroying everything. And they're like, well, we'll just pick Dusa, we'll use Stone Gaze, and then suddenly Sven's momentum is blunted. And we see it again now. Sven is at the top of the meta, or he's close to it. We're seeing these natural Dusa counter picks to hypothetically win these sort of late game engagements. In addition to that, of course, Dusa can deal with the Eidolons better than most carries. Not quite as good as, say, Gyro, which was banned out by Logical, but one of the better carries at doing so. So there is a good reason for that. And again, it is one of the ultimate late game carries. Historically, we actually are going to have a pause so I can give a little bit of a history lesson for those of you who are more recent to Dota. But if you go way back to like late Dota 1 times, early Dota 2 times, there's a mentality of that there were three great late game pillars for the carry role. There was Faceless Void, there was Medusa, and there was Spectre. And it was kind of sort of like a triangle where one beat the other, but they all had playable matchups, and Dusa was like one of these ultimate late game forces where if you allow her to farm and play the slow game, you just eventually win the game more often than not. Of course, ZSMJ, the great Chinese carry player of LGD fame in Dota 1 and of a number of teams in Dota 2, mostly in Dota 1 fame, would famously play a very strong Medusa. There's a video, it's a Chinese video if you want to look it up, of ZSMJ Medusa, where it's like this like emotional sort of tribute of it's like, oh, almost like anime Chinese lore style, whatever. I'm not entirely sure what the right term is. It's like, oh, is Lincoln's Manta, Butterfly, Rapier, second Rapier. That is the CSMJ Medusa build. Pretty cool video if you ever want to go see a chapter of 2010 sort of era Chinese Dota, back when the Chinese were the best. And they had some very, very strong teams. There was, of course, the trinity of the hard carries. You had Zoe, you had Burning, and you had ZSMJ. Ultimately, of the three, ZSMJ transitioned to Dota 2 the worst, which is a bit of what can you do. I mean, obviously, Zoe won a TI, and Burning came pretty close to winning a TI on multiple occasions. ZSMJ, not the case, but you turn the page back 15 years, and you've got some real Dusa Dota going on there, some real CSMJ stuff. This pause is pretty long. If my story actually got completed, this pause must be pretty long, but it is what it is. I actually didn't even evaluate these drafts fully. I went to some individual interactions. I think I do prefer the Dire draft though. Got some really tanky heroes. You've got Venge. I think Radiant have the tools to win the game still, of course, but it's going to be a little more difficult. I think whatever win this game, probably more often than not, maybe 60-40, 65-35. Dota Plus actually gives the odds to Radiance, 54-46 odds, so we'll see what ends up happening there. We are on pause, though. We have finished my history lesson. We have finished the pause, and we are in for Dota 2. If you are... What the... If you are just joining us, welcome to game number 3. It's the winner-take-all final game in this winners finals matchup between Empyrean, aka Pocket Watching, captained by Logical on the Radiant side, who won game 2, and Whatever, captained by DKMP, headlined by Artem on the Dire side, who won game 1. My name is Badger, and again, the winner of the series is guaranteed at least $110 of our $500 prize pool. The loser could go home in the losers finals with only a $60 prize pool. So money on the line. There's money to play for today. We no longer are here for amateur NA Dota. This is semi-pro NA hours, baby. And hopefully you're gonna take a nice little seat. This is gonna be a fantastic game 3, hopefully. Game 1 was one-sided. I hoped between the games for a more competitive game 2. We got a more competitive game 2, and looking at the heroes on our screen here, you got the Enigma, you got the Clockwork, you got the Centaur. There's some interesting Dota brewing. Could have, again, a very, very fun game 3. Tiny walks forward. He'll contest Webby at the rune. Hoofstop misses, but the rune still goes to Webby. MPL did not want the skill to just get the rune, I guess. Trying to sneeze. I think I'm muting my mic in time on OBS. If you're listening on Dota TV, then what can you do? You heard a sneeze. Regardless, wait, it's probably tissue. Sorry. Tissue time. Feels better to unclog the nose now rather than later. Regardless, bottom lane pushback comes in from Keshi. Silly Snail's battery assault will now will waited out. Top lane, it's Tiny Enigma versus Dusa and Venge. Interesting lane. I mean, this feels like it should be pretty good for Enigma Tiny, but with the individual skill of Artem, who's again firmly a top 100 player, there's certainly some room to play this lane still. Bot lane, battery assault comes in, hoof stomp, hits on both. Clockwork's dropping, though he's not dead. Webby is taking a lot of creeps, actually. Logical played the wave nicely. Bushwhack misses from Keshi. I think Keshi was going for a 2-man Bushwhack. Ended up splitting the wickets on both, getting neither. Verified what can you do moment right there. Speaking of bottom, Logical's career goes down. He ended up getting, I believe that was the finished bracer before it dies. By the way, Webby's still tanking creeps. He's level 1. Luckily, he does have 2 rings, so he's actually kind of fine, but that's still a lot of creeps tanked by the Centaur War Runner. Mid lane, I don't look at it too much because mid lane's pretty boring usually, but it is Zeus DP. Sounds like a pretty even lane to me, but I don't know. I mean, it seems even to me, but there is slightly more damage on the Zeus at the start of the game, but again, both of them will of course use spells to spam out the wave, secure Elastus that way, secure those runes. There's fighting again in both these side lanes. Radiant run at Flesh Canoe, Avalanche will hit, and First Blood will go to enough on the Enigma. Artem is low on mana as well, so he needs to mine himself on that Dusa. MPL sees the Courier of Dusa. That's a stick and 2 Wraithband recipes. He'll end up missing. I don't even know if that could have killed it, but it misses regardless. Not fully sure about the Courier interactions. Not really an interactions guy, to be honest, so if it could have killed the Courier, then he missed it. And if he couldn't have, then I guess it didn't really matter. Top lane, Lotus gets secured by Artem. He'll Mystic Snake for a bit more mana. He's got a Mango. Will turn onto Enough, who's low on HP, though not dead yet. Flesh New tanks the Avalanche and tanks the right clicks from NPL. Enough gets 1 more kill. It's literally every kill in the game for Enough right now. He's 2-0. Nobody else is on the board. So we see Frisbee. He's thinking runes right now. He'll actually go for that minute 3 bounty rune to secure the rune before the top lane. Dusa gets blasted by Enough in MPL. A 3rd kill for the Enigma, the only killer of the game. But Frisbee wanted to get that bottle charge before the minute 4 water runes. That way he had the resources to contest the minute 4 rune. Okay, if you're DKMP, name the game is going to be Zone Zeus away from the runes. Potentially, just prevent him from getting any of these runes. Problem is, Frisbee gets 1 rune. He gets Fairy Fire, Water Rune ready to be used. He'll jump away, and instead of getting none of the runes, as DKMP hoped for, Frisbee gets both of the runes. Which, again, if your DKMP isn't the end of the world, because you still have one more bottle charge, but if you're Frisbee, that's fantastic. You're over the moon right now. You got a bunch of charges from 2 different water runes. Siphon comes in from DKMP. Zeus can jump in 4. He can still Fairy Fire, but no! He didn't stick or Fairy Fire in time. And he has to be kicking himself for that one. DKMP gets a kill he probably should not have gotten, but he capitalized on a situation presented to him. And again, we are back to farming. Oh boy, farm time. Already, we are up by 1k gold for the side of Empyrean. Looking at the hero network situation again, they're winning multiple lanes, it appears. They're certainly winning top lane. Enigma's #1 in net worth. Avalanche hits. Flesh Canoe backs up Artem. Artem with Mystic Snake. He's still being run down. He won't end up dying, but again, that's a disaster for Artem. Bottom lane, again, Sven's farming pretty well, far better than Webby. It's mid lane where things are going better for whatever. It's DKMP in the lead, which is almost the opposite of what we've seen in the first 2 games. First 2 games, it was the side lanes that went well for, speaking of side lanes, top lane, it's a dead Artem Medusa. Flash Canoe gets away, but again, it's the opposite of what we saw in the first 2 games. The first 2 games, it was side lane victories that were the name of the game for whatever. Artem crushed his lane both games. Webby had a good lane game 1, acceptable lane game 2. It was Frisbee who was performing well in the mid lane, but this game is the opposite. Frisbee has a rough start, and it's the side lanes of the Radiant that are being won. They'll again go in for Artem. Avalanche hits on 2. In comes a silly snail. TP comes in from Keshi, backing up his carry, but his carry is simply dead. Thunder God's Wrath finishes the job. He's got no TP on Medusa when he respawns. It's an absolute disaster. Flesh Canoe's on the run. He'll Magic Missile to stun the Tiny. But at this point, it's time for the Dire to die. Venge goes down, they'll head to Keshi. Keshi, when he dies, will have no TP either. A mega kill for enough. He's 5-0-2. He's been involved in every single kill of the game, and he's gotten the lion's share of those kills. If you are enough, you're probably feeling pretty good right now. I'm saying, oh, I got a lot of money. I got 4k net worth. Next closest hero, 3.2k. That's a lead. That is quite a lead. Oh me, oh my. You just don't see that often. Bottom lane, Logical, becomes red. He will, at this point, likely look to begin transitioning away from the lane. Or, at the very least, play sort of this shallow area of the jungle, maybe a little bit over here as well, while also pushing in this wave. Again, shove and jungle would certainly be an option, and Logical appears to be going with the shove and jungle option where, you know, you shove it out, then you leave, you shove it out, and then you leave, maximizing his farm on Sven, and in a situation like that, he'll be very able to accelerate his farm heavily, which again, if you're Logical, I'm pretty happy about. On the flip side, for the other carry, Medusa, his T1 is literally dead, brought down by Enigma, who is just perpetually harassing him in this top lane right now. Which again, if you're Enigma, is pretty good. If you're Medusa, it's pretty bad. Mid lane, Frisbee's on the run from DKMP. Siphon comes in, Crypt Swarm, I believe, hits. Regardless, Frisbee is alive for the time being, but Keshi and Flesh Canoe finished that one. Enigma TP'd in, looking for Keshi. Keshi walks away. Back over to the silly snail who was running from DKMP. He goes down, so whatever recognized that their strongest hero right now is this DKMP DP, and they play around him. Siphon has been used. DKMP is now out of Siphons, however. Black Hole comes in from Enough, and that'll be a dead DP. One more kill for Enough. Again, he still has 100% kill participation. 6-0-2 for his team's 8 kills, and again, it's time for one more hero to die, it appears. Avalanche toss towards the Enigma. Enigma, and he gets blasted by the Eidolons and the 2 hero damage there. So again, Enough continues his 100% now, 6-0 and 3. He's going Vlad's into drums, which is again more of an aura-heavy build. Not even any boots yet. DKMP gets stampeded. He'll exo forward with the Siphon on enough. Clockwork will cogs just to zone away DKMP. Which again, if you use the exo and get nothing as DKMP, you're not feeling too good. Your mid T1's already dead. I'm drawing an R box at next at this point over that crumbling tower remains. The ruins of what was once a T1 tower. Clockwork gets spotted. DKMP runs forward. He's got one Siphon. But again, the cogs will break that Siphon. Keshi gets Thunder God's Wrath all the way from long range to bring him down. Now Flesh Canoe will join his fellow support in the grave. A double kill for Frisbee on the Zeus. It's 11 kills for Empyrean. A 5,000 net worth lead. And right now, Empyrean are making my prediction look a little bit foolish. I thought whatever were going to more than likely win this game. Dota Plus disagreed. Dota Plus gave Radiant odds at minute 0. Turns out Dota Plus appears to be right, and I appear to be wrong right now. But there's still plenty of Dota to play. It's a 4K net worth lead, so not quite as large as the lead that we saw game 1, but it's nearly as high. Again, this is going to be a hard game for whatever to win. I mean, you look at Sven, he's farming. Look at Zeus, he's doing well. Look at Enigma, he's his #1 net worth right now. He's nearly 7K net worth 11 minutes, which, again, if Logical watches this VOD, he'll probably be chuckling a little bit when I say those words, but again, this is a fantastic game for Enough. Usually you talk 7K at 11, you're talking about these great carry players, but Enough Enigma is doing it instead, so just some fantastic stuff there.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Again, top lane. Dire will run forward. Stampede is available for Webby, but Frisbee stands his ground, just putting down the Arc Lightnings, looking to slowly kite around Webby. Flesh Canoe runs in. He'll Magic Missile stun the Zeus. In comes Clockwork. Battery Assault will be on top of the Vengeful Spirit. Vengeful Spirit gets cogs away. I think it's hoping to cogs him in, but regardless, Flesh Canoe still will die. Eventually, surely. There's 3 heroes running on. Bushback is fantastic from Keshi. That might save Flesh Canoe. Correction. He's still dead. Level 3 Lightning Bolt finished the job. Meanwhile, bot lane, they're going in for enough. The Black Hole is on one, but it's on one key target. DKMP heals up. He's trying to stay alive, but could not do so. One more kill for enough. All the tier 1s on the Dire side have perished. None of the Radiant side towers have perished. Enough's out of control. Logical at this point. I mean, usually you'd say, oh, my carry is 7K net worth in minute 12. I'm feeling pretty good. He's not even #1 net worth. It's his teammates. So, it's looking rough. It's looking real rough for whatever, and you know, we have seen the full wide range of games so far. We saw a one-sided slaughter for whatever game 1, an even game 2. Now a one-sided slaughter for Empyrean game 3. Frisbee mid lanes going on in. Long range hook shot from the silly snail. He gets bushwhacked by Keshi, but that will not save his life. NPL actually ends up tossing Clockwork. I think that okay, got him out of that tower range, probably prevented 1 or 2 tower shots, which, again, low value, but it is certainly a morale win to get Clockwork outside of that tower range. Mid lane, they're hunting for Keshi. Keshi's in the trees. He'll bushwhack the Tiny. Phylactery is there for the Zeus, and now Keshi will die. A number of these Zeus players go for a bit more of a hybrid build. They buy the Aghanim Shard for that Lightning Hands. They'll go for a split magical physical build. Frisbee, apparently not among them. He not only has Phylactery, which I guess is just kind of standard on Zeus, regardless of what he goes for, but he's also going for the Aghanim Scepter for the Nimbus, which again indicates certainly a mana magical heavy build here. Bot lane, Clockwork runs in, Stonegaze comes in from Artem. Hookshot stuns the Venge. Clock is low, there is no black hole. In comes Thunder God's Wrath. Stampede was used. By the way, trying to buy some space. Artem's out of mana, Flesh Canoe's out of HP, DKMP TP's in and Exos. Artem the Fall is already 2 dead. DKMP loses all of his mana. Now he's tossed away by NPL. Frisbee is still casting spells. He'll siphon one more time. DKMP DP is dying. And now he is dead. 3 down. Keshi runs, he'll survive. But at this point, the hopes of winning the game are not quite alive. I mean, they're still there, but it's an 11k net worth lead. You see a game like this, it reminds you of Julius Caesar's victories at Pharsalus and Elysia. They are one-sided tactical slaughters. It's just unbelievable, the outclassing you're seeing right now from Empyrean, given especially game 1, it was the opposites. Like, it's unbelievable what you're seeing right now. But, I mean, we're seeing it. The evidence of your eyes and your ears are not betraying you. It's just a completely one-sided game. Tiny can blink in if he wants to. He's accompanying Frisbee, who is just harassing this Medusa. Frisbee is hasted right now. But they will not fully commit to go in for this Dusa kill quite yet. Top lane, Webby sees enough. Enough has Blink Black Hole. He'll blink in for Keshi. Keshi's on the run. Meanwhile, Frisbee, Tiny, and the Clockwork combine to bring down Artem back to top lane. Enough and Montreal combine to bring down the Keshi Hoodwink. So 2 more kills across the map. And Artem, who has been the star of the show all series, he is 0-5-0. An uncharacteristically poor game from Artem, who has probably been the tournament MVP up to this point, but in this game 3, he has got no momentum. He is having a rough game right now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Top lane, Webby's on the run. Enough is hunting. So if he pursued, it would have been a TP cancel and probably a kill. Enough says, you know what? I don't actually care. I don't want to kill Webby. I would rather have the Lotuses. And now he's got 2 Lotuses. So the lead is up to 14,000. Surprisingly, only a 94% chance to win. Frisbee and the Silly Snail will combine with the Radiant the Dire Tri-Camp to bring down Keshi. Thunder God's Wrath gets pump faked by Frisbee. He's thinking of using it for likely some vision. But they don't even need vision to go on Artem. Artem will stone gaze, so he'll get tossed up as the Rockman gets stoned. Logical looks for an angle. But he will not become red. He will not run in. He is content to do nothing as his team runs around anyways. Blink in by Enigma. Black hole on Artem. Goodbye, Medusa. 2 more dead. It's 23 kills for the side of Empyrean. And now Webby's on the run. He's slowed by the neutral creep. Oh, no. Oh, what a disaster. 24 kills. He did buy the blink before he died on Webby, which is important if there will be a comeback. The Centaur Blink Dagger will certainly be a key component, so that is 1 step forward, but there are still multiple steps back because, again, you fed 1 more kill. However, this bottom T1 is dead, so at long last, whatever have killed the tower. They're actually only up by 3 towers right now, which is a little bit surprising. That'll be a little more by now. Radiant run bot lane. Hook shot from medium range finds Medusa. Medusa is inside the cause. Tiny is here. Deuce is relatively low on mana. In comes Webby, hoof stomping the Clockwork. Logical's on the way. Storm bolting Centaur. Sharpshooter has been channeled to kill the Clockwork. DKMP pops the Exo. And that was, again, not the fight you wanted for Empyrean. Seems like the Silly Snail got a little bit snilly and jumped the gun on that one, hunting. But his team simply was not there. Tiny was not quite in range. Sven was not quite in range. Zeus had no ulti, and I don't think he had the Ags quite yet. He's got it now to go in for Webby. Webby is utterly and completely demolished there. Meanwhile, Sven runs in for DKMP. Sven becomes red and slaps down the ghost. That's a dead DKMP DP. Meanwhile, MPL hunts, dies a T3 for Keshi. Keshi is dead. It's 27-4. It's a shame that Clockwork died because we'd be 1 kill away from the meme number, but the meme number will not be here apparently. It's only gonna be 28-4, which is not as exciting. D3 is being gone on by Logical. Artem looks to defend with Stone Gaze, which delays the push for at least a solid 10 seconds. Hookshot finds Illusion, so little of hookshot value is found. Blink in by Tiny, finds the Venge, in comes Centaur. Stampede is ready, he'll use it now. Flesh Canoe goes down, Levy is low. Levy will end up getting right-click down surely. Tiny is low, but again, Sharpshooter is tanked by Logical, who had his BKB active. DKMB's back in the game, silencing Enigma. Stormbolt the counterplay. Radiant still look to play outside the dire side base. They're playing a 5v3, but they're not going to overdo it. They say, you know what? We are in the lead states. Let's not throw the lead state. Let's back on off, push in these waves, go farm some camps. Perhaps grab a Roshan at some point and not throw the game away. Because again, you play in this patch, it's pretty easy to throw. Let's just say Radiant go high ground and they wipe. That's like 9k gold going back. Meanwhile, bot lane, Keshi's being gone on. Black Hole is not needed. 1 more kill for Frisbee. He is beyond godlike. 13 kills on the board for Frisbee's Zeus. Looking at the scoreboard, certainly not good for... There are 3 deathless Radiant heroes right now. 2 deaths on Zeus, 2 deaths on Clockwork. Speaking of Clockwork, he hookshots in for Webby 13-13. And all eyes are definitely on you right now as you're going to probably die. And the kill goes to Clockwork. Last hit, I believe, was via the battery assault. 31 kills now for the side of Empyrean, and the slaughter continues. There is no stopping this one. It is... Again, a blink in by MPL. The tower is injured. There is a structural failure going on to this tower, and again, it's exacerbated by Radiant hitting it, it appears. Bottom lane, we see a TP away by Artem. He'll barely get away from Clockwork. Clockwork was looking to run in to, I'm sure, cancel that TP, but could not get in range in time. Hookshot was on cooldown, and that saved the life of Artem. So, at this point, Empyrean are going to perhaps clean up some of these outer towers. There's a tier 2 top, there's a tier 2 bottom. I said them in the wrong order. I don't really care. There's a Roshan, by the way. Bottom lane. We've seen a lot of Roshan action, particularly in game 2 of the series. It has not been touched so far in game number 3. I'm sure at some point, if Logical wants to, he'd say, hey boys, let's go around bottom, hit Roshan. For now, though, we see NPL tossing away Artem. He'll avalanche stun the Medusa. Keshi backs up his Medusa as it currently stands. Sven plays top. The remainder of Empyrean play bottom. Enough, again, will be that primary building hitter. He'll kill that bottom T2 tower. That's 5 towers now taken by Empyrean. MPL can blink. He'll go in for Keshi. He'll end up using him, though. And that did not work out for the Tiny. Dire blasted him, but now in comes Logical. Stone Gaze was used by Artem. Buyback from Tiny. Hookshot comes in from the Silly Snail. It's fantastic, and it ain't coming up. It finds the Keshi Hoodwink. Both Dusa and Hoodwink certainly will die. Centaur dies as well. It's 3 dead in a black hole on DKMP. Goodbye, Death Prophets. So it's a 4 for 1, and now Flesh Canoe is fighting for his life. But he is simply avenged with 3k net worth. You cannot win that fight. That's a full 5-man wipe for Empyrean in this game. It's probably just over. I mean, I don't really see a way for whatever to win this game any longer. I mean, I'm sure it's hypothetically possible, but this game is over. And if this game is over, then Empyrean will go on to the grand finals of Lads Plus. They will sit comfy in the winner's bracket, waiting for their finals opponent. And again, for now, whatever do not want to be in losers yet, they'll once again look to defend. It's desperation time. Your mid-racks have fallen, Logical gets slowed. Everybody's alive. Blink Hoofstop is dodged by MPL. A Yule's on Centaur. Stormbolt will stun Medusa. Dire leave their base, but this reeks of desperation. This fight is not easy to win. You're just running forward blindly at this point. You just smell a scent. Hookshot comes in, finds DKMP. Stonegaze from Medusa, but Sven's leaving! He's leaving everybody right now. Webby's already dead, Clockwork's still alive, DKMP is low, DKMP will die. Double kill for Logical, triple kill for Logical, Keshi goes down, Deuce out of mana, ultra kill for Logical, and GG is called. Game 3 and the series go to Empyrean, and they will be in the grand finals for Lads Plus Season 2. Oh boy, that was a slaughter! Oh boy! I mean, you do not see games like that all that often. I mean, I guess we also saw it in game 1 of the same series, but still. Oh man, that is just... What a flaccid way to end that series. That is not what I was hoping for. But it's what we got. And ultimately, it went 2-1. We got every flavor of Dota game. And ultimately, thanks to Empyrean's win, in the only close game of the series, game 2, they end up on top 2-1. They will go to the grand finals. And looking at the bracket stage, there are 5 teams left right now. So here is the situation. It's like a ladder at this point. There is literally a ladder of games. So starting at the bottom of the ladder, it is Mo Filski, Mo Magan, of course, that PMA captain team with Filski and JM and so on. They will play Wakanda Made in China, the team headlined by Barca, captained by Demo, I believe. The winner of that game will play Royal Star, again headlined by former Arkosh player Rudy, captained by Madior. They got Patience in the team and so on. Winner of that will play whatever. The loser of the series you just watched, the winner of that will go to the grand finals to play Empyrean, aka pocket watching the Logical Captain's team. So that is our situation. There are 4 series left in Lads Plus, 3 losers series, 1 grand finals, and that's how it's going to be. For this series, it's over. So here's my where I'm going to be for the next little bits. I'll be casting the NADCL Division 2 Grand Finals on tomorrow. It's 6 p.m. Eastern. It is the Breezy R team playing the Buffalo's team, I believe. So that should be a fun time. 6 p.m. Eastern if you want to go watch and tune in for that one. I'll also be back on Sunday night for some more normal Lads playoffs. The wife captained Bird Up will play the Perfin captain Frauds at 8 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. So again, it's a triple day cast, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Full weekend slate there, but after the weekend slate, if you want to cast your games, cast your tournaments, especially if you're a pro TO looking to pay somebody or either to cast or be a tournament admin, then contact me on Discord. It's Badger Pablo on Discord, or over on Twitter. It's Badger Dota 2 on the Twitter. But yeah. Thank you in particular to Rex Rampage for the subscription and the 2 gift subscriptions. Thank you to everybody else though for just being a viewer. Thank you for just being in the chat and watching, of course. And yeah, as always, thank you for watching, and have a great night.